Chapter 761. Have some sense. Chapter 761. Have some sense. What's wrong? Fong Neng's expression sunk. He extremely disliked being interrupted. The man said shakily, "Leader, Elder Wu, brought back the young master, and Elder Wu Chang." The moment Fong Neng heard that his son was back, he knew that the deal at Chan City had been sealed. He was quite happy that his son had got it done so quickly. He just nodded and pulled the maid aside. In that case, let the three of them come inside. Suddenly, Fong Neng thought of something and immediately slammed the table. "Next time you say something wrong, you'll get beaten to death." He remembered the words, "Wu Bai brought back the young master," and Wu Chang, not "the young master brought back Wu Chang," and Wu Bai. No, I didn't say it wrong. It's Elder Wu Bai who brought dash. The man was dumb and still hadn't understood why the leader was angry. Fong Neng sneered and got unhappier. He couldn't be bothered to keep listening, so he grabbed a cup and threw it at the man's forehead. The cup didn't shatter, but instead it embedded this man's head. The man looked at Fong Neng in shock. Even at death's door, he couldn't understand why the leader killed him. Was it because he had bothered him in his good moment? But he had been reporting something important. Before Fong Neng could be dragged out, another horse-faced man walked in desperately. Fong Neng frowned. That man was his right hand and secretary, Fong Quan. His status was above the Wu brothers, and he was also at great heaven. Fong Quan was Fong Neng's closest man and had followed him for the longest. When Fong Quan was just at earth level, he was so bold that he dared rape the daughter of a city lord. He was hunted by this city lord, but Fong Neng saved him. Fong Quan followed him, and when he reached great heaven, he killed that city lord's entire family. So, although Fong Quan had come in at this time and Fong Neng was unhappy, he didn't say anything. Fong Quan didn't even look at the dead man on the ground. Instead, he said worriedly, "Big brother, young Master La Ping was killed in Chan City. Wei Chang died from losing too much blood after his ligaments were cut off. Only Wu Bai came back, but his powers have been destroyed." "What?" Fong Neng heard this, and his face changed drastically. He got up immediately as veins popped out on his forehead. He only had one son, and he really was his jewel. Even though La Ping had secretly saved his concubine, he could pretend nothing happened. However, now his son had been killed, and his powerful underlings, the Wu brothers, had also been destroyed. Who did this? Who? Fong Neng was about to go crazy. He smashed the table in front of him into pieces. The two maids next to him shivered and hid on the side, fearing that their terrible master would kill them. "Leader, Wu Bai was useless. Please punish me." Wu Bai had just walked inside and seen the furious leader. He knelt down immediately. The bodies of Fong Laping and Wu Chang were carried inside by 4 men behind him. Fong Neng's face turned pale gray. He walked to his son's body and saw a terrified face. Fong Neng clenched his fists. He was thinking about how to torture his enemy then. No one in the room dared to breathe loudly or talk. Fong Neng could kill anyone when he raged. After a long while, Fong Neng calmed down slowly and sat back on the seat. He then said coldly, "Wu Bai, tell me what happened." "Yes, leader." Wu Bai took a deep breath. He realized that the young master had died under his care, so no matter what, the consequences wouldn't be good. Yet, he still needed to report what had happened. "After we got to Chan City, we contacted the elders who had joined us. Wu Bai was interrupted by Fong Neng. He looked coldly at Wu Bai. "Get to the point. Save the useless shit." Yes, Wu Bai felt defeated. Even though he was at great heaven, he was at most a dog to Fong Neng. Now that he had lost all of his powers, he was probably worse than a dog. Before this, Fong Neng had always been very polite to him and his brother. Also, Wu Bai was feeling dejected because Fong Neng hadn't told him to stand up, but he didn't want to keep kneeling. He got up and said in a calm tone, "It was an elder from the Magical Merchant Association who killed the young master. His name is Chu Yizhu. A half-step great heaven martial artist dash, Feng Ning cursed coldly. Chu Iju, a mere half-step great heaven man, dared to kill the young master of the sea merchant clan. How dare he? I won't stop until I slice off his flesh and feed it to the dogs. Wu Bai sneered to himself, but said calmly, at the time, Chu Iju kicked the young master. He didn't have any killing intent, but the young master died. I suspect that the real killer is not Chu Iju, but Yi Mo. Yi Mo. Who's Yi Mo? Feng Ning couldn't react yet. Wu Bai said calmly, Yi Mo is the person who is helping the Magical Merchant Association. He killed my brother as soon as he came in, and then young master knelt down for mercy. Chu Iju was a spy of ours, but when he saw Yi Mo enter, he kicked the young master to suck up to Yi Mo. Yi Mo, no matter who he is, I will let him have a taste of a pleasurable death. Feng Ning couldn't control his rage. That Yi Mo told me to tell you to have some sense, leader, because he might accidentally pass by here, Wu Bai added. Ha! Have some sense. Feng Ning laughed. Feng Quan looked strangely at Wu Bai. He knew Wu Bai wasn't the talkative type, but he seemed to be talking too much today. Yi Mo. Feng Quan suddenly thought of someone. A few days ago, a man had killed countless masters at the magical continent mountain. Great heaven martial artists were like little chickens to him. Then he had continued and annihilated many hidden sects, including Tai. What made people fear him the most was that he had annihilated more than 10 sects in one day. These sects were very far apart from each other. It would take days by cart, but Yi Mo had done it all in one day. No one knew how Yi Mo had gone to this many places in such a short time. Everyone knew this, but no one dared to talk about it. Thinking about this, Feng Quan shivered. He was sure that the Yi Mo Wu Bai was talking about was this person. Who else could it be? Feng Quan, prepare the things and come with me to Chan City. I really want to see who this cocky bastard is. That I should have some sense? He better have the balls not to leave Chan City. And about that goddess Si Hua, if I don't *CK her to death, I don't deserve to be the leader of the sea merchant clan. Feng Ning's face was hideous. After having understood who Yi Mo was, Feng Quan wasn't going to let Feng Ning kill himself. He quickly said, Big brother, that Yi Mo is probably the person who slaughtered the great heaven masters at the magical continent mountain and the one who annihilated Tai and many other sects so rapidly. Feng Ning was like an angry chicken who suddenly got choked as he stopped showing his anger unexpectedly. Wu Bai looked at his reaction with satisfaction. Chapter 762. Beautiful Woman Trick. Chapter 762. Beautiful Woman Trick. Feng Ning didn't think it would be the one name that could make him not dare to show his anger. He fell silent. He went from extreme fury to extreme calm. He could yell at the top of his lungs about killing other people, but when it came to Yi Mo, not only did he not dare do so, he also had to go apologize. Who was Yi Mo? He had easily killed Len Quan and Ling Wushui while being attacked by countless great heaven masters. Meanwhile, he would be just a piece of cake to Len Quan or Ling Wushui. Feng Ning was furious, but he didn't dare to show this anger. Perhaps if he foolishly made the order to hunt Yi Mo, the next moment his clan would become history. Yi Mo might really come for a spin to the sea merchant clan, but no matter how strong Yi Mo was, could he really just let go of Yi Mo killing his only son? Feng Quan could tell how Feng Ning was feeling. He sent the rest of the people in the room off, and then said, Big brother, what do you plan on doing? Feng Ning put down his hands dejectedly and said, What can I do? It will be my luck if that slaughter god doesn't come annihilate our clan. If I tried to get revenge from him, it'd be like asking to die. But I really don't want to let it go like this either. Feng Quan smiled. Big brother, tell me the truth. Do you want revenge? Feng Ning said with a defeated face, He killed my only son. How can I not want revenge? But even if I want it, revenge is only possible if you're capable. I heard that Qi Yoxin wanted to get revenge for his son, but didn't even last a single move against Yi Mo. Perhaps what I should be thinking about now is how to save the clan. Fong Quan, think of a way to give a pricey gift to the Magical Merchant Association. Sigh. Fong Quan nodded. Yes, we must send this gift, but it's not impossible if Big Brother wants revenge. Fong Neng immediately got up and grabbed Fong Quan's hand. Excitedly, brother, what way do you have to get revenge? Quick, tell me. Fong Quan patted Fong Ning's hand. Big brother, who do you think is prettier, Goddess Si Hua or Ji Mei? Fong Ning immediately thought of Ji Mei, her moon-like face and crescent moon-like brows, her white jade-like skin. He almost forgot about revenge as he thought about her. There was only her appearance in his head. After a long while, he woke up and sighed. Although Goddess Si Hua is a beauty, she's still a little worse off than Ji Mei. Brother, what does this have to do with Ji Mei? Big brother, if you really want to get revenge, you will have to give her to Yi Mo, Fong Quan said. What? Fong Nung was shook. He only got Ji Mei a year ago, when she was roaming the streets and was about to be sold. Fong Nung saw her and immediately fell in love with her. Because he loved her so much, he didn't go against her will and do anything like raping her. He agreed to do things after they were married half a year later. This was his woman, such a beauty. How could he give her to his enemy? No way. No, that's impossible. Fong Nung rejected it. Fong Quan sighed. Although he had some small calculations, his loyalty towards Fong Nung was mostly genuine. He felt like something was up with Ji Mei. With his experience, he knew that she was not the weak-looking girl she seemed. He had tested her countless times, but had never found anything, though. If they could kill Yi Mo and send her away at the same time, it would be killing two birds with one stone. But Fong Quan knew that Fong Nung wouldn't listen to his opinion of Ji Mei. He coughed. Big brother, why do you think Yi Mo is helping the Magical Merchant Association? Fong Nung shook his head. He really didn't know. Fong Quan said, I understand this man. Everyone knows he is really powerful, but he has a special characteristic. He is extremely lustful. Big brother, the reason why the events of Magical Continent Mountain happened was all because of a woman called Mu Xiaoyun. Yi Mo slaughtered for her. Fong Quan then continued. Mu Xiaoyun was already with Yi Mo, but Tai wanted her, so the battle occurred because of it. As for why Yi Mo is helping the Magical Merchant Association, it's also because Yunzi is a very beautiful woman. She probably gave her body to Yi Mo for him to help them. Fong Ning sighed, but that doesn't mean he will like all beautiful women 100%. And can't we just give him a pretty one? Fong Quan knew that Fong Nung didn't want to let go of Ji Mei, so he sighed. With Yi Mo's standards, he wouldn't even consider ordinary women. Mu Xiaoyun and Yun Ziyi are extreme beauties, so if we want to entice him, I can't think of anyone other than Ji Mei. Fong Quan then said also, Yi Mo annihilated countless sects. Even Tai and Kuan Qian couldn't avoid it, so how come CI Hengjing Mosque was fine? I heard that Jie Sun was even the worst of enemies with Yi Mo. Later I found out that it was because a few nuns from there had had a few affairs with Yi Mo. Yi Mo might be very lustful, but he protects the women he loves. If Ji Mei can seduce Yi Mo, how can we not have a chance to kill Yi Mo? Also, after we kill Yi Mo, Ji Mei will still be yours. Fong Nung thought for a long time before sighing. Okay, we'll do as you say. But Yi Mo is such a master. It'll be hard to ambush him. Fong Quan saw that Fong Nung agreed and breathed easy. He replied, Big brother, don't worry, leave this to me. As long as Yi Mo is seduced by Ji Mei, we will succeed 100%. Fong Nung agreed and immediately said, immediately investigate where that Yi Mo is and arrange Ji Mei to be sent over. Heng Shui City. Yi Mo stood in front of this prosperous city and was lost in thought. A few years ago, he had come there with Xiaoyan, but now he was by himself. He had searched countless cities and mountain ranges in this past month, had found many herbs, but still wasn't able to find Mu Xiaoyan. Yi Mo walked around Hangshui City in the day and went to Hangshui Square. At night, he went back to the Blue Sea Hotel. He had stayed with Mu Xiaoyan there before. Chapter 763. Intervene when things aren't right. Chapter 763. Intervene when things aren't right? What? Yi Mo is already in Hangshui? Feng Neng looked at Fang Quan in disbelief. The boat to the mortal side had left 10 days ago, and it was still on the sea. How could Yi Mo be in Hangshui already? Could he fly? Fang Quan nodded, but his expression was very strange too. He said after thinking for a while, "Big brother, he was able to annihilate many sects in one day. How did he do it? I thought he had a flying pet, but now it seems like he can fly himself. Can he really fly?" Feng Neng was more shocked than Fang Quan. He was at Great Heaven Tertiary stage and knew how hard it was to fly. He had heard that not even those who surpassed Great Heaven could fly. They could at most glide in the air, but the distance wouldn't be more than a few kilometers. Feng Neng soon knew what Fang Quan meant. He looked excitedly at Fang Quan. Fang Quan nodded. "Big brother, once we have him in our hands, we should just disable him first. If I'm not wrong, there's a heavenly shocking secret about Yi Mo. He's less than 30 years old, but he can already easily slaughter great heaven masters, and he can fly. From this, we can tell that he's definitely not cultivating ancient martial arts." Feng Neng took a long breath. This was the answer he wanted to hear. He feared Yi Mo a lot before, but now he could put all of those thoughts aside. If he really attained Yi Mo's cultivation method, what would he become? Couldn't he dominate the hidden sex world, or even the entire magical continent? Feng Neng didn't dare to keep thinking. But Fang Quan continued, "However, I'm sure that I'm not the only one who noticed this. Elder Feng from Ice Lake must have noticed this too. With her wits and selfishness, no matter what kind of disciple Mu Xiaoyan was, there was no way she would openly stand against the entire hidden sex just to save Mu Xiaoyan. Yet she did." "Brother Fang, what do you mean?" Feng Neng looked excitedly at Fang Quan. Fang Quan sneered. "Big brother, I'm sure that Elder Feng realized that Yi Mo doesn't cultivate ancient martial arts, so she guessed that Mu Xiaoyan must have been cultivating what Yi Mo taught her. Therefore, she took Mu Xiaoyan away to get it from her. The reason why Yi Mo still hasn't found Mu Xiaoyan is probably because she has either been hidden or killed by Elder Feng. Big brother, you can't win if you don't take risks. Moreover, we have Ji Mei. We can easily attain this wealth, so we can't give up. That's why I would like to propose to Big Brother to send Ji Mei to Hangshui with Blue Condor," Fang Quan said. Feng Neng didn't hesitate this time, and nodded. "We have a resting tower in the sea. Blue Condor should be able to arrive in the other side in 1 day's time. But we also need to go to Hangshui immediately. I think that Yi Mo might have gotten his hands on something that was passed down from ancient times. He's really lucky to be able to obtain such a cultivation method." Fang Quan smiled. "Big brother, no matter how many cultivation methods he got, everything will be ours in the end." Yi Mo stayed in the hotel for 3 days. On the 4th day, Yi Mo was prepared to leave Hangshui. It was pointless to stay there anymore. Just when Yi Mo got to the door of the hotel, he saw a vicious man chasing a woman in rough clothes. The man had a bamboo whip and cursed as he chased, "Bitch, how dare you run?" Then he whipped the woman, and the woman howled in pain and happened to fall at the door of the hotel. Yet no one dared to stop the man. Yi Mo frowned. He saw that although the woman had hair and dirt covering her face, she was extremely beautiful. The man came to the woman and was about to whip her again. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask what was going on, a man in a blue shirt walked out and stopped the man. "Friend, why are you so cruel to a weak woman?" The man stopped and looked at the man in a blue shirt and said coldly, I'm beating a woman I bought. What's that got to do with you? Move aside, or I will beat you too. The man in a blue shirt smiled faintly. No one saw how he did it, but they suddenly realized that the bamboo whip had fallen in his hands, and with a rub, the bamboo whip turned into dust. Everyone was shook. This man was at least at the earth level to be able to do this. The man also seemed to be shocked by the man in a blue shirt's power. He was dazed before saying, "Just because you're strong, you're going to rob me of my possession?" The blue shirt man sneered. "She's clearly a human, yet you call her your possession. How much money did you spend on her?" 50. No, I didn't spend gold coins. The man looked worriedly at the man in a blue shirt. The man in a blue shirt threw 5 gold coins to the man and said, "Take the gold coins and piss off. If you dare breathe in front of me for one more second, don't blame me." The man was stunned by the man in a blue shirt's killing intent and quickly ran off with the money. People around laughed and left. At this moment, the woman crawled up and bowed to the man in a blue shirt before saying, "G. May thanks you for saving her life." Her voice was crisp, but her tone was melancholic. Almost everyone who heard her cried out of sympathy. G. May didn't expect that she would be saved by this man. Things hadn't gone according to the script. Yi Mo saw this woman and thought of Mu Xiaoyan even more. When he first met Mu Xiaoyan, she was also like this. Yi Mo shook his head and walked out of the hotel. Ji Mei seemed very weak and didn't have the power to stand after saying one sentence. Yi Mo walked to the door, and the way Ji Mei fell happened to be in his direction. A faint aroma entered his nose. Yi Mo frowned and retreated a step while hooking Ji Mei with his leg. Ji Mei quickly got up and said worriedly to Yi Mo, "Big brother, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it. Thank you. I dash." Yi Mo looked more carefully at her this time and couldn't help but truly be shocked at her beauty. She was even a bit more enticing than Mu Xiaoyan. She had that natural feeble feeling. Her eyes looked down, but they were very seductive. The coarse clothes she had couldn't cover her out-of-this-world beauty. The messy hair added a sense of worry-inducing beauty to her. But was also very perky. This woman was only worth 50 gold coins? Yi Mo was shocked. Ji Mei was surprised. She intentionally let Yi Mo see her face, but she only saw some shock in his eyes. He didn't try to chat her up with lustful intent, as she expected. Chapter 764. Made Ji Mei. Chapter 764. Made Ji Mei. That blue-shirt man walked up to Yi Mo and saluted him with his fist. "Friend, you are talented. I'm Fu Wu. If you don't mind, let's go have a drink." Just then, Yi Mo had moved his leg really quickly and smoothly. With the blue-shirt man's quick eyes, he could tell Yi Mo was no ordinary man. As for why Yi Mo had taken a step back, he believed that Yi Mo was a gentleman and didn't want to take advantage of a weak woman. Yi Mo was planning to go have a look around Huangping village, but Fu reminded him of Lu Lei. "Okay, I'm Yi Mo. Since Brother Fu has the time, let's go get a drink then." Yi Mo nodded casually. When Yi Mo and Fu Wu walked out of the hotel, that woman who had gotten saved also followed them. Fu Wu turned around and looked at her strangely. "Girl, you can go wherever you want now. I've already given that guy money. I don't think he will dare do anything to you again." Ji Mei's eyes turned red, and she said weakly, "Ji Mei has no home to go to. Even if I leave Brother Fu, I will still end up getting caught and sold again. If you don't mind me, I'm willing to be your maid." This dash, Fu Wu looked at her with a troubled face. His goal was to travel across the entire magical continent. However, when traveling while cultivating, it wasn't convenient to bring a woman. Seeing Fu Wu's expression, Yi Mo approved him. No matter what, Ji Mei was an extremely beautiful woman. There was no way a man wouldn't be interested in her. He had Luo Ying, Ning Qingxue, and Mu Xiaoyan, so he didn't have any intentions with Ji Wei, but Fu Wu wasn't enticed at all either. From this, One could tell that Fu Wu was a strong-minded person. Brother Fu, Ji Mei saw Fu Wu's hesitation and immediately looked worried. She also stared at Yi Mo, as if hoping Yi Mo could help her say something or he could take her with him. Yi Mo didn't say anything. Fu Wu would have to make his own decision on that matter for sure. Fu Wu thought for a while and said, "How about this? Ji Mei, come and eat with us first, and then we'll talk about other things." "Yes, Brother Fu, Brother Yi." Ji Mei followed them obediently. The three of them went into a nearby restaurant. Although Fu Wu had ordered dishes that covered the whole table, no matter what Fu Wu said, Ji Mei just stood on the side feebly. She didn't dare to sit down. Instead, she was helping them pour wine. Fu Wu sighed. He thought that Ji Mei had probably grown up serving people. That's why she behaved like this. Due to Ji Mei, the two men didn't have the best time. About Fu Wu, Yi Mo found out that he had been traveling around everywhere. Fu Wu was a very upright and honest person. He didn't hide anything, since it was the first time he saw Yi Mo. He said that the reason he could reach Earth-level tertiary stage before the age of 40 was completely due to discovering some valuable herbs among his journey. Quite obviously, he didn't know about what Yi Mo has done at the inner hidden sections. After the meal, Yi Mo was planning to leave, but Fu Wu pulled his arm. "Brother Yi, I'm someone who travels around everywhere. I might have a meal this time, but not a meal the next time. Ji Mei would suffer a lot if she follows me. How about letting Ji Mei follow you? Although she didn't come from a good family, I can tell she's a good girl." Then Fu Wu turned around to Ji Mei and asked, "Ji Mei, would you be willing to follow Brother Yi Mo?" Yi Mo smiled. He wanted to reject it, but Ji Mei replied before him, "Brother Fu, you saved my life. I will follow whoever you tell me to follow." Then Ji Mei walked up to Yi Mo and bowed. "Brother Yi, you will be Ji Mei's master from now on. Ji Mei will do anything you ask." Fu Wu laughed at this. He was very happy with the outcome. Yi Mo felt something was wrong. Ji Mei had agreed to follow him too quickly. But before Yi Mo could say anything, Fu Wu said, "Brother Yi, Ji Mei looks like a very gentle and placid girl. Don't reject her anymore. Ji Mei is right. In our current society, it will be very hard for her to survive without someone looking after her. She would eventually become someone's toy. Brother Yi, I will be very obedient. Please don't leave me behind." Ji Mei's tone was melancholic. Yi Mo sighed. He knew Fu Wu was right. However, it was indeed not convenient to take her with him. Yi Mo subconsciously looked at Ji Mei and scanned her with his spirit sense. Suddenly, Yi Mo noticed something was wrong. When he had first seen her, her face and hair were covered with dust. But when he scanned her with his spirit sense, he noticed that the dust was only on the surface. Her hair was very clean on the inside. There wasn't even a speck of dandruff, much less dust. Considering how she had happened to fall on him at the hotel, Yi Mo was suspicious. Yi Mo didn't restrain himself anymore and scanned his spirit sense inside her body. Her skin was snow-white and clean. Yi Mo was suddenly shook and immediately took back his spirit sense. He was astonished. Ji Mei was a cultivator and someone much more powerful than him. She was at least at Qi gathering peak. He didn't know if Ji Mei had noticed his spirit sense, but he was sure that she was scheming something. Yi Mo could also tell that she was injured and had lost all her power. That was probably why she couldn't let out her spirit sense, but Yi Mo didn't dare to scan her anymore. That woman was scary. Yi Mo realized that if he hadn't been cultivating the three-birth chant, and his spirit sense didn't exceed Qi gathering peaks, he might have not been able to notice all this. "Brother Yi, what do you think?" Fu Wu asked. Hearing this, Yi Mo wondered if Fu Wu was also a part of her plan. However, Yi Mo quickly denied that thought. Fu Wu seemed very genuine, and probably he had just happened to get caught up to this. Yi Mo wasn't scared of her. Even if she recovered her power and was at chi gathering peak, he could still subjugate her. What worried Yi Mo was who had taught her all this. Yi Mo had to find out was who this master was, and why he had used a woman without any power left to get close to him. Thinking about this, Yi Mo laughed. Since Brother Fu doesn't want such a pretty woman, then I won't hold back. Ji Mei, you can follow me from now on. Yes, thank you, Master. Thank you, Brother Fu. Ji Mei's eyes were full of joy. Yi Mo noticed that as soon as Ji Mei looked down, there was contempt and jeer in her eyes too. After bidding Fu Wu farewell, Yi Mo rented a cart with Ji Mei. Yi Mo decided to go to Gontong City first. Ji Mei had explained that she was the young miss of a big family, but her family had gotten killed by enemies. Hence she fled, but she had gotten caught by that man. She didn't want to stay with him, so she ran away. Yi Mo didn't believe a word she said. Chapter 765. Fearsome Master. Chapter 765. Fearsome Master, as though knowing that Yi Mo didn't like to talk much. Ji Mei didn't say much either, and just served Yi Mo obediently. What made her feel strange was that someone as lustful as Yi Mo didn't ask her to sleep with him. Shilin Town was a small town near Gontong City. Yi Mo arrived there after riding a cart for a week. It was just noon now. What made Ji Mei feel strange again was that Yi Mo for the first time wasn't in a rush to continue traveling, and instead he stopped at the town and asked for 2 rooms at a hotel. No matter what Yi Mo did, Ji Mei wouldn't ask questions. It was as though she really was a maid. Ji Mei, I need to cultivate till night, so don't disturb me and don't let anyone disturb me. Yi Mo closed the door and said. He noticed that wherever he stopped, there always seemed to be someone watching their cart. Yi Mo could tell that it wasn't Ji Mei wanting to look for trouble with him, but the person behind her. Ji Mei's powers were all lost, so perhaps she was being controlled by the people behind her. Someone who could abolish the power of a peak-stage chi-gathering cultivator must be at least at the foundation establishment state. Yes, Mast, Ji Mei agreed. Yi Mo nodded and went into the room, closing the door. He was sure that Ji Mei had lost her powers and couldn't use any spirit sense, but just in case, he still set up a spirit sense blocking formation. Yi Mo watched Ji Mei with his spirit sense and noticed her just dazing in her room, so he didn't bother with her any longer. He took a great chi-increasing pill and started digesting the pill. He knew she was at least a chi-gathering peak cultivator, so he was all the more urgently trying to increase his cultivation. When Yi Mo opened his eyes again, he noticed it was dark. He scanned his spirit sense into the room next door and found Ji Mei cooking something. Yi Mo looked at the herbs and noticed that what she was cooking could make people lose their inner chi for some time when inhaled. Was she planning to use that against him? Yi Mo sneered. That would only make his chi a little weaker even if he ate it. At midnight, when Yi Mo digested the second great chi increasing pill, 2 people appeared in her room. He had never seen the 2 before, but Yi Mo scanned with his spirit sense and knew that one was at the Great Heaven tertiary stage and another at the Great Heaven primary stage. Yi Mo noticed that the things Ji Mei had been cooked had been made into incense, and it was burning. Yi Mo stood up in shock. He didn't expect that Ji Mei would have made that to deal with the 2 Great Heaven fellows. Yi Mo also noticed a big blue condor by the room. Did those 2 ride that here? Yi Mo took away the formation and neared the wall. He wanted to hear what the relationship between these 3 was. Ji Mei, what incense is this? As Feng Neng smelled it, he asked. Ji Mei blushed and bowed to the 2, saying quietly, It's an aphrodisiac incense. I bought it in the town. This Yi Mo only walks by my room each time, and he has never shown any intent on staying with me at all. So I bought this, but he still hasn't come. I Ji Mei suddenly thought of something and said desperately, Brother Feng, I'll quickly get rid of it. I see. You still haven't done it, but how could Yi Mo resist it? Fong Nung looked at Ji Mei's ruddy face as he voiced his surprise. He suddenly stopped Ji Mei from talking. Ji Mei, since you lit it up, there's no need to put it off. Brother Fong, how about you go out for a bit? I need to talk to Ji Mei. Fong Quan's face changed. He knew what Fong Nung meant. He sighed. He felt that this leader of his couldn't control himself sometimes and wasn't someone who could achieve big things. Since he gave Ji Mei to Yi Mo, don't take her body, all of a sudden. But Fong Quan knew it wasn't good to stop Fong Ning now. He turned to leave, but suddenly Ji Mei called out, Brother Fong. Fong Quan turned around and looked at her in confusion. What is it? Ji Mei bit her lips as though there was something she couldn't say. It was as though she liked Fong Quan and not Fong Ning. The scene fell silent. After a long while, Fong Ning's face looked unhappy. Ji Mei, what do you have to say? Suddenly, Fong Quan's face changed, and he said desperately, wait, this is an aphrodisiac, incense. Why was Ji Mei tricking them? Fong Quan wanted to disintegrate it immediately, but when he palmed towards it, he found that he already couldn't use any inner qi. Fong Quan's face changed immediately. This was an incense that made people lose their inner qi. Just when Fong Quan was about to flee the room, a dagger flew from Ji Mei's hand into his chest. Fong Nung immediately knew what was going on too, and his face went pale. Ji Mei, you wanted to use this incense against Yi Mo, right? You're really smart. This is much better than some poison. Now, give me the antidote, quickly. Fong Ning's face was pale, but he knew that since Ji Mei had killed Fong Quan, he wouldn't be able to survive either. Ji Mei smiled suddenly. Oh no, I lit up the wrong incense, but I don't have the antidote. Brother Fong, what do you think I should do? Then Ji Mei walked up to Fong Quan and pulled out the dagger before slowly walking to Fong Nung. Ji Mei, what are you doing? I brought you back from Xian Jia Mountain, and I truly loved you. Fong Nung uttered. Yi Mo heard this and thought, Xian Jia Mountain? Ji Mei cursed. You really love me? You shameless old geezer. You kept trying to take advantage of me and wanted me to give up my body for the survival of your sea merchant clan. You brought me back from Xian Jia Mountain? Fong Nung, I'll be honest with you. That thing from Xian Jia Mountain belonged to me, yet you took it and wanted to rape me. Finally, I get to kill you today. Ji Mei, you were injured. Didn't I really save you? Fong Nung's tone was shaky. Ji Mei sneered. I was injured? Fong Nung, you almost made me die. If I don't repay you, I don't deserve to be a human. I was going to use that thing to reach the golden core state, but you made me almost die. Yi Mo's heart sunk. Golden core? Was this woman a Peak Foundation establishment state master? If she really was, then he had to kill her before she recovered her power. But before he could do anything, Ji Mei took out a box from Fong Ning's pocket and rapidly tipped it over into her mouth. Purple snow seed? Yi Mo's heart went cold. He knew he had missed his chance. Purple snow seed was a top-grade healing spirit herb. It had a very rapid effect. It would be too late to go kill her now that she had eaten it. Yi Mo reined his spirit sense back in, and knew that if he kept watching her with his spirit sense, she might notice it. But Yi Mo felt something was wrong. Although he was stage 7, his spirit sense was very strong, and he was cultivating the 3-birth chant. He shouldn't have seen wrong. How could Ji Mei go from Qi Gathering Peak to Foundation Establishment State Peak? This was too strange. Chapter 766. Luo Yin's Old Home. Chapter 766. Luo Yin's Old Home. Moreover, the purple snow seed wasn't something necessary for reaching golden core state. The purple snow seed was a top-grade healing herb. It was better than the 1,000-year snow lotus seed, and it could be eaten straight away. It could also be made into a purple snow pill. The purple snow pill was a pill that increased the chances of reaching Foundation Establishment state, but its potency was far weaker than the Foundation Establishment pill. However, It was as hard to make as the Foundation establishment pill, so rarely anyone used it to reach Foundation establishment state. Ji Mei had said that Feng Neng had stopped her from reaching Golden Core stage. Yet, Feng Neng had taken the purple snow seed, so something wasn't right. No matter what, Yi Mo knew that it was the Sea Merchant clan looking for trouble with him. Feng Neng had happened to be able to control Ji Mei, but now that Ji Mei had recovered her power, the first person she would kill would be Feng Neng. He didn't need to do anything anymore. He didn't dare scan his spirit sense in the room next door either. No matter how overpowered his three-birth chant was, it was nothing against a Foundation establishment state peak martial artist. Yi Mo poured himself a cup of tea and sat down. He realized that if Ji Mei really was at Foundation establishment state peak, then he would get caught. Ji Mei would kill him for sure. In that case, he might as well sit down. Furthermore, there was no conflict between them. Thinking about this, Yi Mo hid all his cultivation essence. If someone searched him with their spirit sense, they would find that he was an ordinary great heaven tertiary stage martial artist. Indeed, Yi Mo didn't have to sit for long until he noticed a spirit sense scanning in there. It was clearing looking at his situation. Yi Mo was suspicious. That spirit sense was at most at Qi gathering peak. Had she said that she was at almost golden core to make him feel scared? The next moment, someone knocked on Yi Mo's room. Yi Mo sighed. What had to come? Had to come. He got up and opened the door, letting Ji Mei walk in. He could tell she had recovered her powers. Seeing Yi Mo frown, Ji Mei smiled. Thank you for these past few days, Master. I shouldn't have come to disturb you this late, but I'm leaving. I won't be able to serve Master in the future, so I came to tell you. Yi Mo breathed at ease. It seemed that she didn't intend to kill him. After a while, since Yi Mo wasn't telling her to wait until daylight to leave, and Yi Mo didn't comment anything about her sudden strange behavior, Ji Mei suddenly asked Master, "What do you think of my looks?" Yi Mo was dazed. He didn't know why Ji Mei was asking this, but he still said, "You're very pretty." "Oh," Ji Mei smiled and said enticingly, "but I heard you're very lustful. Since you think I'm pretty, why didn't you let me stay with you for the night?" Yi Mo sneered. He knew that Ji Mei wanted a reason to kill him. So he said, "No wonder Brother Fu didn't want you to follow him. It's only been a few days, and you already showed your true self. I think it was probably an act that day you were beaten. But even if I'm lustful, I'm not interested in a bitch like you." Yi Mo couldn't help to think of Mu Xiaoyun. Her feelings were true love. Ji Mei wouldn't be able to pretend that no matter what. After hearing this, Ji Mei was dazed. She immediately looked angry, but soon it disappeared. Ji Mei sighed. "I heard you killed countless masters for your girl, and that you were very lustful, but now it seems rumors really can't be trusted. Indeed, I was coerced a few days ago, but I actually was getting beaten. You and Fu Wu are both nice people. You're at Great Heaven Tertiary stage, yet you could kill that many Great Heaven Peak masters. You're really talented in ancient martial arts." Ji Mei suddenly shot out a fireball and said plainly, "Although you're not bad, if I wanted to kill you, I could with just simply raising my hand. But seeing that you're an honest person, I'll let you go." Then Ji Mei threw her fireball to the tea table in front of Yi Mo. Yi Mo saw the fireball and immediately realized that he had overestimated this woman. The fireball was far weaker than his. That woman was only at Qi gathering peak, not at Foundation establishment state peak. Yi Mo looked at the fireball and sneered. "I have never needed people to have mercy on me. I control my own life." A Qi gathering peak woman. That was no threat to Yi Mo at all. If that woman dared to attack, he wouldn't mind killing her. Ji Mei suddenly burst into laughter. "They say all men with some capabilities are prideful. It seems to be really so. But I said I'll have mercy on you, so I will. One word of advice, it's better to be humble. Otherwise you might not even know how you die." You're lucky that I'm in a good mood today." Then Ji Mei blinked out of the room and disappeared. Mo sneered. He knew that Ji Mei didn't have a systematic knowledge. Although she was at Qi Gathering Peak, there were a lot of things she didn't understand. He thought of the cultivator he met in the South Pole. He had said that he also came from Xian Jia Mountain, and that woman also came from there. Were they together? Wait, that man had said that he had found the cultivation ruin with his martial brother, not a woman. Mo didn't keep thinking about this. It had nothing to do with him, and he didn't need to stay in that town. He got on the flying sword and dashed out of the window into the night sky. Ji Mei had gone to the roof, but she suddenly seemed to have thought of something. She went back to Yemo's room, and as soon as she did, she was dazed. Yemo had just been here a moment ago. How had he disappeared already? Ji Mei sneered. "You're trying to run away? Since I want to find you, you will come back obediently. I was planning to let it go like this, but since you're trying to run away, you can serve me for a few days." While saying this, she scanned her spirit sense out. Her spirit sense could reach 8 to 9 kilometers, but soon her face changed drastically. There was no sign of Mo in her spirit sense range. It had only been half a minute since she had left Mo's room. How could he be more than 9 kilometers away in such a short time? She decided to go to Tong City. Ji Mei didn't want to return to Xian Jia Mountain immediately. She knew Mo was going to Tong City, and she had to understand this. Mo didn't go to Tong City. He went to Shifeng village under Tong City's reign. Luo Yin had been called Shi Jingqin before she had gone to the hidden sections. Luo Yin was in a jade coffin now. Yunzi had supplied him with jade. He had made a jade confin and put it in his golden script world. Mo still didn't know what sort of world it was, but he knew that it didn't follow world laws. Hence, nothing could deteriorate inside. Shifeng village was much larger than Huangping village. There were about 100 families there. Most of the houses were quite tattered. Mo looked at the serene scene and took a deep breath before walking into the village. Chapter 767. You annihilated the Tai sect? Chapter 767. You annihilated the Tai sect? Mo stopped a few tea-picking girls and asked, politely, "Girls, may I ask if Shi Jingqin's family lives here?" Those girls who were stopped all bravely looked into Mo's eyes, at first with eyes that had fire in them. But after Mo asked about Shi Jingqin, their faces changed drastically, and they all avoided Mo and turned to leave. Mo felt strange. Was Shi Jingqin not welcomed in this village? Mo's spirit sense noticed that one girl left the group and snuck into the village. Mo smiled. The next moment, he saw the girl come to a tattered haystack house. Mo scanned his spirit sense in. There was a big-eyed youth there. His clothes were tattered, and he was managing herbs. "Shirtai, those people seem to be here again. Just like the 2 last time, he's looking for your sister. You should hide," that young girl said desperately. So this was Luo Yin's brother? But who was looking for trouble with Luo Yin, and even bringing her brother into it too? "Why would you hide from me?" Mo smiled. "Huh!" The young girl saw Mo suddenly appear at the door, and she screamed. She was very careful when she came, yet this guy knew somehow. Her face went pale, and Mo could see her body shake. Shirtai put down the work and grabbed an axe, saying coldly to Mo, "This has nothing to do with sisterly, come at me." Mo frowned, thinking, "I'm just visiting." Mo waved his hand. "Shirtai, you've misunderstood me. I bear no ill will. I'm your sister's friend, and I was asked by her to come visit here." Hearing this, Shirtai's face looked weird, but he still held his axe vigilantly. Suddenly, Mo's face changed, and he said, "Shirtai, trust me, I have no ill will towards you. I'm indeed your sister's friend. Wait here for me, I need to deal with some things, but I'll be back in a bit." Mo then turned to leave. "Shirtai, he left. You should run quickly." Sister Lee said with a pale face. Sure, Tai shook his head. I don't want to run. He said he knows my sister, so I will wait for him here. I miss my sister too, but I have had no news of her. If he's from the same group as those people last time, I will fight with my life. Thank you, Sister Lee. You should leave first. The pale-faced girl thought for a moment, and left first, having warned Sure Tai. The reason why Yi Mo had suddenly left was because he found Ji Mei with his spirit sense as she was rushing past Shifeng village whilst being chased. Although Ji Mei was only at the Qi gathering peak, she should still be almost invincible here. Who could beat her with like that? Yi Mo followed after them. He wanted to know, since when there could have been another powerful fellow like that in this small realm, but the guy had only injured Ji Mei and been unable to kill her. From this, one could see that the guy wasn't that much stronger than Ji Mei. A bird cried, and a blue condor landed in front of her. On it was a man in his 50s. Wasn't this bird Ji Mei's? How did it become that person's? What do you want? You already took the blue condor. Are you really going to kill me too? Ji Mei shouted. Yi Mo sent his spirit sense out and saw that this man was a cultivator of ancient martial arts, but his power was about the same as Li Cheng's or even greater. He was a true great heaven, or what people here called the level which surpassed great heaven. No wonder Ji Mei was no match for him, although she was a cultivator, but she didn't fully understand truth cultivation and didn't have a proper weapon, so she couldn't fully utilize her power. Yi Mo didn't expect to see another true great heaven here. The man studied Ji Mei and then said, You're this young, but this powerful already. You were even able to escape all the way here. Without the blue condor, I wouldn't even have been able to catch up to you. You're unimaginable. Do you know that if I attack with my full power, even Marshal Nislen Quan wouldn't be able to block more than a few of my moves, but you did. Ji Mei sneered. I have no enmity with you. Why did you attack me and rob me of my blue condor? The man replied plainly, Your blue condor? How come I heard that this blue condor belongs to the Sea Merchant clan? Although I just left the sect, I know you probably killed the leader of the Sea Merchant clan, right? Ji Mei sneered. Feng Neng was scheming for me. Why can't I kill him? What has this got to do with you? The man sneered. This has nothing to do with me, but according to what I know, Feng Neng gave you a mission to kill someone called Yi Mo. I believe you haven't done it yet, so tell me where Yi Mo is, and perhaps I can let you go. Yi Mo? Ji Mei was dazed. She didn't even know where he was now. The man cursed, that's right. Yi Mo, he annihilated my Tai sect. I was in solitary training, but found out from a Wanbei called Mo Yushin how cruel this man was. I didn't expect I would come back to hear this news after leaving for 30 years. I won't stop until I mince this Yi Mo to pieces. If you can't tell me where Yi Mo is today, then you can go accompany my Tai sect. Ji Mei was dazed. She didn't think this Tai fellow would be so unreasonable. What did this have to do with her? Of course, you have another way out. You're strong, so you can marry my new disciple Mo Yushin and help him rebuild the Tai sect. You also know that my disciple looks like Yi Mo, so he's not bad, the man said. Ji Mei just realized that the latter part was the man's main purpose. How shameless! Ji Mei cursed. When she had seen Mo Yushin, she thought that he was Yi Mo at first. By the time she realized he wasn't Yi Mo Yushin had already escaped. But she had called Mo Yushin Yi Mo, so they knew everything from that. Yi Mo understood by now that this man was a Qianbei of the Tai sect who had been in solitary cultivation. From what this man said, he probably didn't know of Li Cheng's existence. Yi Mo's killing intent sword. He wouldn't let such a person leave. If Mu Xiaoyan met this guy one day, she would be done for. And that Mo Yushin too, he would go destroy him as well. Yi Mo slowly took out his flying sword. Ji Mei was injured, and just when she was trying to find a way to escape from this man, she saw Yi Mo walk over. She was dazed and immediately rejoiced. Qianbei, the person you're looking for, is here. Now, I have no business here anymore, so I'll be leaving. Then Ji Mei turned to leave. Yi Mo's life had nothing to do with her. The man saw Yi Mo and immediately knew why Ji Mei would mistake Mo Yushin for Yi Mo. They really looked the same, but if you looked carefully, you could see the difference. You're Yi Mo? You're the one who annihilated the Tai sect? The man saw Yi Mo and asked. He didn't care that Ji Mei left. He was sure he would be in time to catch her after he killed Yi Mo anyway. Chapter 768. Kill. Chapter 768. Kill Yi Mo smiled at this man, and then flicked the sword in his hand. I didn't think I would be seeing the second true Great Heaven Master. This must mean that Kunshan and Ci Hengjing Mosque also have Great Heaven Masters. This man was very contemptuous of Yi Mo before, but when he heard this, his hands shook, and he looked at Yi Mo in disbelief. After a long while, he asked, "You're this young, yet you know the secret about Great Heaven?" This was a secret kept from most of the ancient martial artists. He himself had only found out about it after he broke through the peak of the heaven stage. This Yi Mo had mentioned it so casually. Was he also a real Great Heaven Master? Yi Mo ignored the question and asked, "Do you know Li Cheng?" "Li Cheng? I have some impression of him." The man thought for a moment and said, but he soon remembered his purpose of finding Yi Mo. "Even if you know the secret of Great Heaven, you won't escape death today." Then his long sword turned into a flurry of sword shadows as it struck towards Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew this was the man not considering him as an opponent. So without thinking, Yi Mo raised his fist and hit the sword shadows. Thud the man, and Yi Mo took a step back each. Yi Mo was sure that the man was stronger than Li Cheng, but he wasn't as strong as him. "You were able to find my sword within the sword flurry and hit it precisely? Very well. You're worthy of witnessing 80% of my full power." The man struck with his sword again, but this time it wasn't just sword shadows he displayed. His long sword produced an inch-long sword ray. Yi Mo nodded. This guy's inner chi was really strong. He could form such a long sword ray out of nothing. But Yi Mo wouldn't let his opponent act cocky without rebuttal, and he laughed contemptuously. "Old fart, keep bluffing like that, and I won't even need to fight you. You will just blow yourself into the air if you keep elevating yourself like that." The sword ray left the sword and pierced at Yi Mo, but then immediately more sword rays formed, and they all shot at Yi Mo, each of them with the same frigid killing intent. Yi Mo knew that if he let this man keep shooting his sword rays, he would eventually be surrounded by them. One wrong step then, and he would be shot. This guy was really strong, and this sword technique was also very powerful. If he could get it and comprehend it through the three-birth chant, he could change it and then improve his fighting power. Yi Mo knew that his cultivation essence and spirit sense were strong, but his relative battle power wasn't strong. His fighting method was simplistic and could only allow him to reign dominant in this realm. There was a great disadvantage about his flying sword. It was very easy to kill opponents weaker than him with it, but for people on his level or higher, the flying sword could easily be controlled by them. Thinking about this man's sword technique, Yi Mo's heart burned with fire. He had to get it, which meant he had to kill this man. Yi Mo was sure that this fellow hadn't created it himself. He probably got it from some cultivation cave. More sword rays shot at Yi Mo as he was thinking. Yi Mo sneered, and his flying sword became the size of a door under the stimulation of his cultivation essence. This door-sized sword formed a cultivation essence whirlpool as it dragged in all the sword rays. A terribly unpleasant sound of explosions and metal clashing ensued as the remnant cultivation essence and sword rays splashed to the sides, shattering nearby rocks and leaves. Yi Mo breathed easy. He knew he could do this only because the man wasn't proficient in this sword technique. If he could control it freely, like Yi Mo could his flying sword, then this method of counterattack would work. The man didn't expect Yi Mo to be able to break his ultimate move, and was visibly shook. The man's battle experience clearly wasn't much to speak of. His sword rays had been annihilated, sure, but he wasn't on the lower hand at all yet. But he didn't make the next attack, and instead chose to retreat and protect himself. Yi Mo, however, was very experienced in battle and saw through the man's lack of experience. He wasn't going to let this opportunity go. He didn't take back his flying sword, and instead let it fly towards the man while he punched out at the same time. But the man was still very strong and reacted rapidly. He understood he had lost the opportunity to stay ahead of his opponent, so he immediately put up an inner chi wall. This wasn't the first time Yi Mo encountered such an inner chi wall, and he wasn't going to let it stop his flying sword. Just when Yi Mo's flying sword was about to fly into the inner chi wall, it suddenly changed directions and shot into the air. Just when the man felt curious about how the sword could have changed direction in midair, Yi Mo's punch was already approaching him. He couldn't mind the flying sword anymore, and also punched from inside the inner chi wall, while his other hand prepared another sword technique move. Yi Mo's punch broke the man's inner chi wall and clashed with his opponent's fist head-on. Before the man could feel happy about Yi Mo fighting him head-on, he felt a sudden freezing killing intent. He immediately thought of the flying sword that had flown into the air. His heart went cold, and he had a bad feeling. He subconsciously moved to the side while blocking his back with his sword. Clank, the man felt his sword break, as his shoulders felt pain right after. Yi Mo's flying sword then pierced his shoulders. Not good, his long sword was broken. Yi Mo seemed to be controlling his sword telepathically. Thinking this was too absurd, the man finally started to feel fear towards Yi Mo. He now knew he definitely was no match for Yi Mo. As soon as his sword broke, the man shook his wrist. His long sword turned into countless shards, which all flew towards Yi Mo. When he saw this move succeed, he knew his life was saved. All he needed to do next was to go onto the blue condor. Without checking the result of his attack, he dashed onto the blue condor, and the next moment, he flew into the air. Yi Mo, I'll leave this enmity here for now, but if I don't pulverize your bones and annihilate your family in the future, I swear I'm not human, the man cursed in the air. Meanwhile, Yi Mo's flying sword had formed a cultivation essence whirlpool again, and stopped all the shards. The next moment, Yi Mo flew into the air with his flying sword. Run away from his flying sword on a bird? Keep dreaming. The man never expected that Yi Mo would be able to chase up in the air, so he just sat on the bird patching himself up. But when an approaching killing intent etched itself into his heart again, he shivered and subconsciously looked up. He horrifyingly saw Yi Mo standing in front of him as a white ray fell on top of his head. No! He howled before two parts of a body then fell down in a rain of blood. Meanwhile, the blue condor screeched and flew off. Chapter 769. Three-Birth Sword Ray. Chapter 769. Three-Birth Sword Ray. Yi Mo didn't mind the blue condor and landed next to the man. Soon, he found a broken booklet in one of his pockets. It was broken, but for some reason, the remaining parts were very sturdy. Yi Mo tried ripping it and couldn't. Yi Mo opened the booklet immediately and found it to be a sword technique indeed. However, it had no name, and only the first half was left. Yi Mo flipped through it casually and found it to be a very powerful sword technique. Although only half of the sword technique remained, that was no problem for him. He cultivated the three-birth chant, so as long as he had the former part, he could form the latter parts himself, and it might even become stronger than the original. The sword technique only had 3 levels. The first level was forming a sword ray, the length of which was based on a person's characteristics and power. There were many types of sword rays. They could be formed from inner chi, killing chi, and sword chi, the sword ray, leaving the sword to attack, was only the first level of the sword technique. Yi Mo found that when you cultivated the latter stages, the sword ray could be boundless in size, or extremely small to go through any hole. It wouldn't even need a sword to shoot it out from anymore. Yi Mo sighed. If this man had reached stage 2, then he might have been in danger. Yi Mo closed the small booklet and didn't keep looking in case it affected him in creating his own version. He believed he could create a better one through the 3-birth chant. This sword technique had no name, so Yi Mo decided to call it the 3-birth sword ray after thinking for a bit. Yi Mo dumped the sword technique into his storage ring and then burned the man to a crisp before heading back to Shifeng village. Ji Mei had kept running. Luckily, she had eaten the purple snow seed, and the potency was still there. So even though she was injured, she was recovering rapidly. She knew she had to leave as far as possible. If that man killed Yi Mo, it would soon be her turn. She rejoiced at her luck that Yi Mo came up like an idiot. Luckily, she didn't kill him at the town, or she would be the dead one now. Suddenly, Ji Mei was shook and stopped. Even if Yi Mo was going to Gontong City, how could he suddenly appear in Shifeng village? Even if he left at daybreak and rode the fastest horse, he couldn't arrive that fast. Ji Mei shook her head. She didn't want to investigate him any more anyways. He would be dead for sure after today. Just when she wanted to keep running, the blue condor's call made her shiver. She cursed. That guy had already killed Yi Mo and caught up with her. Ji Mei subconsciously looked up and saw that there was no one on the blue condor. She rejoiced immediately and whistled. Blue condor had been forcibly controlled by the man, while she actually knew how to communicate with it. The blue condor cried again as it flew around Ji Mei's head and landed next to her. She immediately got on the blue condo and left rapidly. When she was sure she was safe, she thought, the blue condor couldn't have come for no reason. Since it's here, where is that terrifyingly strong man? He should be on the blue condor. There was no way he would let it escape. Suddenly, she had this thought that even she didn't believe. Did Yi Mo kill that Tai master? How could that be? No matter how great his fighting prowess was, he was only great heaven. At that age, it was already absurd that he was great heaven. How could he have killed that Tai master? But there was no other plausible explanation except for this. She wanted to make the blue condor to fly back and check, but she then remembered that her life was more important. So she eventually flew towards Xi and Jia Mountain. When Yi Mo came back to Luo Yin's home, he found that Shi Tai wasn't there. He scanned his spirit sense around and found that he was with that Sister Li, and they seemed to be talking about something at the exit of the village. Yi Mo shook his head. He didn't really need to call him back anyway. Luo Yin didn't tell him to look after Shi Tai. Yi Mo took out her jade coffin and put it at her door and said, "You told me to bring you back to your home. I've gotten half your revenge, but there's still Jesun. If I see her, I will kill her too." After he said that, he noticed that Luo Yin's face seemed a little more natural in the coffin. Did he see wrong? Yi Mo wanted to look more carefully, but he then saw Shi Tai coming back. He put the jade coffin back into his gold page world. "Did you really know my sister?" Shi Tai walked up to Yi Mo and asked calmly. Yi Mo nodded but didn't take Luo Yin's coffin out. Yi Mo said, "I never heard Shi Jingqi mention you." So however, Shi Tai's eyes went red instead, and he said, "But it seems like you really know my sister. Then why didn't she come back? Is she okay?" Yi Mo muttered, "She's in a very good place now, so you don't need to worry about her. I would like to know, though, why did your sister not mention you?" Shi Tai took Yi Mo into a room before saying, "When I was 2, my dad passed away. Mother took care of me and my sister. Life was very hard, and when I was 3, we didn't have enough food due to a mass starvation. My mom took me and left Shifeng village while leaving my sister behind. She was only 14 at the time. Before Mother died, She said she owed Sister the most. When she left Sister behind, she knew that Sister wouldn't be able to survive. Each time my mother mentioned it, she cried. I later realized that Mother had chosen me between me and my sister. I felt sorry for Sister. So a few years after Mother passed away, I came back to this village to see if my sister was still here. Yi Emo couldn't help but sigh at Luo Yin's tragic childhood. Shirtai said, after I came back here, I found out that on the 4th day after we left, a good-hearted nun had come by here. She brought a lot of money and food and saved the people in the village. She lived at my house and took care of my sister. She stayed here for 4 years, and in those 4 years, my sister was very healthy. Then she took my sister and left the village and disappeared. 2 years ago, I came back to this village and have been waiting for my sister here. I trust she'll come back one day. Then why did everyone avoid me after I asked about your sister? Yi Emo asked. Shirtai clenched his fists and said, a year ago, someone came to this village and asked about my sister. Someone said my sister never came back, and he immediately killed that person, calling him a liar. I understand that he was looking for trouble with my sister, but I happened to be out picking herbs, so I avoided that disaster. For some reason, he left the village suddenly. Yi Emo was almost certain that Jie Sun must have sent that person to look for Luo Yin. What do you plan on doing? Yi Emo knew Luo Yin wasn't coming back, so it was pointless for Shirtai to keep staying here. Shirtai bit his lips and said, I will stay here to wait for my sister. I'm going to train in ancient martial arts and help her. I know someone is trying to harm her, so I must help her. Chapter 770. First Disciple. Chapter 770. First Disciple, Yi Emo could only say helplessly, your sister is in solitary cultivation. The sect doesn't allow her to come out easily. Sometimes people have to stay inside for a few decades, so stop waiting for your sister. And if you really want to help your sister, do you think you can achieve reaching an astounding martial arts level in this village? I'm Yi Emo, your sister's friend. If you want to learn martial arts, I can teach you. Yi Emo thought that he had a whole stack of ancient martial arts cultivation methods. He could easily give him a few. Shirtai heard this and was dazed. However, he reacted quickly and knelt down on the ground. Master, I'm willing to learn. I want to learn. I know martial arts are very hard to learn, but I'm not afraid to work hard. Yi Emo shook his head and said, get up first and put your hand on this machine. Yi Emo took out the testing device that Yunzi gave him, a wind spirit root. Yi Emo saw the talent that showed up and jumped in shock. He hadn't expected Shirtai's spirit root to be so absurdly special. It was such a pity to learn ancient martial arts with such spirit root. Yi Emo fell silent. Should he teach him truth cultivation? Shirtai looked anxiously at Yi Emo, wondering if he would be taken in as a disciple. After a long pause, Yi Emo sighed and looked at Shirtai. I have 2 types of cultivation methods. One is the ancient martial arts cultivation method. If you want it, you can have the most powerful heaven-level cultivation method. You could even become the strongest master in the magical continent. There's another type, which is the cultivation method I'm learning now. It's not ancient martial arts. Which one do you want to learn? If Shirtai chose to study ancient martial arts, he wouldn't take him in as a disciple and would give him some resources at most. But if Shirtai chose truth cultivation, then he would take Shirtai in as his disciple. Shirtai knelt down without hesitation and said, Master, I want to learn what you cultivate. Yi Emo approved Shirtai's cleverness. Of course, what he cultivated would be the best. If it wasn't good, why would he cultivate it? However, Shirtai was thinking that since he was Master's disciple, of course he should learn what the Master was cultivating. Okay, get up first. What I'm cultivating is something absurdly powerful. It's much stronger than ancient martial arts, but it's also very dangerous. When you're not strong enough, if someone finds out that you're cultivating another cultivation method, you might get killed. So the first rule is that you need to keep it a secret. Can you do it? Yes. Shirtai nodded. Yi Mo said, "Okay, I'll teach you the primordial fortune chant. Remember it." Yi Mo gave Shirtai the cultivation method up to foundation establishment state, and then explained things to him carefully before giving him another black level cultivation method. He explained to him that he needed to use that as a disguise. Afterwards, Yi Mo wrote a letter for Shirtai and told him to cultivate in the village. If he was lacking on cultivation resources, he could use that letter to go to the Magical Merchant Association and find Yunzi with it. Yi Mo wasn't planning on going to Gontong City. However, the thought that Mo Yushin was still there made Yi Mo want to go teach him a lesson. He had no brotherly feelings about Mo Yushin. If he hadn't tried to scheme against Mu Xiaoyan and him, he might have even helped him occasionally. Yet now he might even kill him. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out at Gontong City and immediately found Mo Yushin. However, he was looking around anxiously. Yi Mo sneered and decided to go there immediately, but he looked back and saw a fortune-telling stall with the words, "Know your past and future. I predict fortune and disaster." The name of the stall was Sei Tian. The owner was an old Taoist monk that looked like an immortal being. Yi Mo was just about to leave when he remembered Li Cheng talk about a master Tianze. Sei Tian was Tianze backwards. Was he really that powerful Taoist monk? Knowing that this Taoist monk might be Master Tianze, Yi Mo quickly snuck into the stall. He wanted to ask two things. Where had Mu Xiaoyan gone to, and how did it get out? The Taoist monk had just finished up with someone else, so he saw Yi Mo. Yi Mo clearly saw his pupils dilate when the Taoist monk's eyes encountered him. He narrowed his eyes and said, "The girl from the Mu family finally found you." But Sai Dash, hearing this, Yi Mo was shook. He hadn't even said anything, and that old Taoist monk already knew who he was to Mu Xiaoyan. Was there really such person in the world? Yi Mo's heart was beating rapidly. Did the old monk also know about his transmigration too? Before Yi Mo could ask anything, the old Taoist monk waved to Yi Mo and said, "You don't need to ask me anything. I can't answer the two things you want to ask me. I'll call it a day for now. You can all come next time if you want a fortune-telling session." There was no way Yi Mo was going to let him go. He quickly stopped the old Taoist monk and said, "Master Tianze, Li Cheng Qianbei let me know of your powers so I could find you." Li Cheng had never told him to find Tianze, but Yi Mo wasn't going to let this opportunity slip. The old monk shook his head. "That little guy, always getting me into trouble." "Okay, it's fortune that we met. I'll help you have a look." Yi Mo breathed at ease. Li Cheng was more than 100 years old, yet that old Taoist monk called him little guy. Tianze told Yi Mo to sit and took out a 8-sided trigram. He didn't ask what Yi Mo wanted to know. He just looked at Yi Mo's face and started calculating. He calculated for a moment and stood up abruptly, as though he had seen a ghost. He looked dazedly at Yi Mo for a long while before murmuring, "Other than a chaos world, there's also someone's fate I can't predict. That's impossible." Yi Mo looked confusedly at Tianze and asked, "Master Tianze, what is impossible?" But Tianze didn't seem to hear him. HR packed his things and walked into the crowd without even looking at Yi Mo. Yi Mo quickly tried to stop him, but he realized that the old Taoist monk had disappeared in an instant. Yi Mo immediately scanned his spirit sense, but he was shook to find that he couldn't even find the old Taoist in his spirit sense range. He frowned and sat down on the stone stool Master Tianze had used. What did he mean by a chaos world? Yi Mo thought for a long while. Was it due to him acquiring the golden script world? The world inside really did seem like a chaos world. Chapter 771. Take her and leave. Chapter 771. Take her and leave ye. Mo reflected about his golden page world and Master Tianze's identity. What if he knew that he had the golden page world? Would that bring him any danger? Although Jiesun knew about it too, she didn't know what it was. This Tianze, on the other hand, was very mysterious. He couldn't even find him with his spirit sense. This person was too dangerous to him. He didn't know how long he had been sitting in contemplation, but when he woke up, he found it was midnight. Yi Mo shook his head. If it was a disaster, there was no avoiding it. What will come, will come. Yi Mo sent his spirit sense out, and that Mo Yushin was gone, as expected. It seemed that Mo Yushin had run off. Yi Mo didn't intentionally go hunt him down. Just when he wanted to leave, though, he noticed the stone stool he was sitting on. Master Tianze seemed to have forgotten to take it. Yi Mo squatted and wanted to lift the stone stool up, but found it to be very heavy. It was tens of times heavier than a metal block of the same size. This mere stone stool weighed more than a ton. What was it made out of? Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense inside it and found that it couldn't penetrate the stool at all. This was no stone stool. It was just a layer of stone on the outside. This was actually made from something even he didn't know. Yi Mo was shocked. This was definitely a treasure. Yi Mo immediately threw it inside his spatial ring before anyone could notice. Although this Master Tianze didn't want to help him find Mu Xiaoyan, this was some gain at least. Now Yi Mo didn't want to find that Master Tianze even more. He feared that Taoist would come for him and left the city like a thief. He immediately got on his flying sword as soon as he got out of the city and disappeared in a flash of sword light. Less than an hour later, Taoist Tianze rushed back only to see the empty ground. He stomped his foot in anger. This little punk really isn't honest. He took my property just because I can't predict where he is. When Yi Mo went past Shifeng village, he looked at Shirtai with his spirit sense. He was cultivating at home indeed. Yi Mo nodded, feeling that this Shirtai would accomplish something in life. If Shirtai could reach the foundation establishment state in the small world, he would be able to pretty much crush anything in his path. Yi Mo didn't bother to go to Chan City and just went back to the hidden sex side of the world again. He went back to looking for herbs while looking for Mu Xiaoyan, Xian Jia Mountain. It was the place Yi Mo had always wanted to come. Although it didn't have as many spirit herbs as Wu Wen Mountain, it was no smaller than the Wu Wen Mountain ranges. Yi Mo spent a week finding herbs and ores, but still didn't find the cultivation ruin. If Ji Mei didn't mention that she had also been cultivating at Xian Jia Mountain, perhaps Yi Mo would give up looking. But now, Yi Mo dug out a temporary cultivation cave in the mountain. On the same day, when Yi Mo just got back from collecting herbs, he saw a certain scene. 2 men and 1 woman were doing something shameless next to his cave. 1 man was at the earth level primary stage, and 1 was at the black level tertiary stage. The woman was at the yellow level tertiary stage. Looking at their clothes, it appeared like the woman was getting raped at first, but when he inspected the woman further, she didn't seem to be getting raped. When Yi Mo walked to the door of his cave, the 2 men saw Yi Mo and immediately attacked Yi Mo. They didn't seem to want to listen to anything and just wanted to kill Yi Mo. Yi Mo was already unhappy that this was happening outside his cave, and now these 2 wanted to kill him. This made him truly pissed. He sent out 2 wind blades and then 2 fireballs at once. Moments later, the 2 men disappeared. The woman happened to open her eyes right then and saw Yi Mo staring at her. She screamed and fainted. Yi Mo shook his head. She dared to come this deep into the Xian Jia Mountain when she was only yellow level. She looked like she was in her 20s, and even though she was only decent looking, she had very big assets. Yi Mo wanted to say a clear mind chant for her and tell her to put on clothes when he suddenly heard the call of a condor. His spirit sense immediately noticed a blue condor. The next moment, Ji Mei and her blue condor landed next to Yi Mo's cultivation cave. Marshall's sister, Xian lay. She looked at the woman on the ground. "It's you?" Ji Mei looked at Yi Mo. Yi Mo ignored this Ji Mei now that he knew that she wasn't Foundation Establishment State Peak at all. "This is where I live. Take her away. I'm going to rest," Yi Mo said plainly. Ji Mei really wanted to kill Yi Mo immediately, but she didn't dare to. If Yi Mo was able to be standing there, that meant that the Tai master had been killed for sure. If he could kill that Tai sect master and come to Xian Jia Mountain within a few days, she was no match for him at all. She didn't want to believe that Yi Mo could beat the master at first, but now he was standing right in front of her. "You're a master above great heaven, yet you do something this shameless." Ji Mei was angry, but she didn't dare to attack Yi Mo. Yi Mo said coldly, "Take her away. This has nothing to do with me, and I'm not interested in her, nor am I interested in you. This is simply my place, so piss off already." "Nothing to do with you? Not interested in her? I've just been away for 15 minutes, and Ji Mei saw Yi Mo's unhappy face now and subconsciously shivered. She didn't dare to speak anymore. If Yi Mo suddenly attacked her, or if he suddenly became interested in her, then things would only get worse. If she wanted revenge, she would have to wait until she broke through. Thinking like this, Ji Mei quickly carried her unconscious Marshall sister onto the condor and left. Yi Mo went back to his home and cultivated the whole night. After another week, Yi Mo still didn't find anything. He was losing his patience. That cultivator at the South Pole might have lied to him. After leaving Xian Jia Mountain, Yi Mo started searching for spirit herbs all over the small world. He threw them all in his golden page world. Half a year passed quickly, and Yi Mo gathered countless spirit herbs and ores, but still had no news of Mu Xiaoyun. He didn't find the bitter 10 years either. Yi Mo didn't want to keep looking. He had left Luoyu for 5 years and longed to return. Yi Mo also felt that his formation skills had reached a certain level that was sufficient for him to have a go at the formation at Magical Continent Mountain. But before that, he still needed to go to Chan City and see how much resources Yunzi had managed to gather for him. Chapter 772, Northern Big Dipper's 9 Stars. Chapter 772, Northern Big Dipper's 9 Stars. The legendary figure of the hidden sex was Du Tian. He had reached great heaven before the age of 45 and created the All Heavens sect. No one had been able to beat this record, but now it had been broken by a young girl countless times younger than him. Yunzi had reached great heaven in her 20s, becoming the youngest great heaven master in the magical continents. With Yun Dongxia missing, Yunzi had picked up the Magical Merchant Association and had devoured the Sea Merchant clan half a year ago. When Yi Mo came to Chan City, he asked casually and knew that it was the most powerful power in the Chan City other than a few first-grade sections. The first-grade sects seemed to know Yunzi's rise was related to Yi Mo, and all took a step back. Hence in Chan City, the Magical Merchant Association reigned. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out and found Yunzi. She was at heaven-level tertiary stage now. Yi Mo could tell that she hadn't sold the other great essence-increasing pill he had given her. She had used it to cultivate herself. Yunzi was spinning a cup of tea in her hands. 3 pills, and she had gone from black level peak to great heaven tertiary stage. Moreover, she had become the youngest great heaven master of the magical continents. Before, she wouldn't have even been able to believe it, but now it was reality. Only she knew that the actual youngest master wasn't her. But Yi Mo, just how many secrets does he have? Yunzi sighed. She knew that Yi Mo wasn't interested in her. In looks, she didn't lack anything compared to Mu Xiaoyan. However, why was Yi Mo's heart tied to Mu Xiaoyan and had no feelings for her at all? Yunzi sighed. She vaguely knew, but she just didn't want to admit it. She wanted to get closer to Yi Mo, and not because she had fallen in love with him. She had an ulterior motive. If Yi Mo hadn't been that powerful, would she have wanted to get close to him? There was no way. What secret? A voice suddenly sounded at her doorstep. Yunzi was shook. She looked up to see Yi Mo walking inside. "Huh? It's you, Brother Yi?" Yunzi's face immediately looked joyful. Yi Mo could see through Yunzi's attitude to him, but he didn't care. It was just a business relationship. "I asked you to buy some herbs and ores for me last time. How is it going?" Yi Mo asked straight away. He didn't want to stay for long. Yunzi quickly said, "It's all ready. Come with me, Brother Yi." Yunzi took Yi Mo to the herb storage of the Magical Merchant Association. When Yi Mo got there, he was quite satisfied. The herbs were preserved well. There really were a lot of good stuff. Yi Mo asked her to go away for a moment so that he could put it all in his ring. Although she felt it was strange how Yi Mo could put it all away, she knew Yi Mo was no ordinary person, so she didn't ask. Yunzi didn't ask Yi Mo for money. Yi Mo left behind 2 more great essence-increasing pills and told her to take care of Shirtai. He rejected her invitation and left Chan City. He had done all he could in that small world. He hadn't killed Jesun yet, but the magical continent was so big, it was very hard to find her. He had to go back now. His longing for Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue made him not want to stay there for a moment longer. Yi Mo returned to the magical continent mountain again. There were 9 peaks, so Yi Mo dug a cave in the middle peak. Then he set up an invisibility formation outside his cave. He was prepared for a long battle there with the formation. The 7-peak formation was actually connected to the cosmos, and it kept changing positions based on time. The reason the hidden sects could only leave every 50 years was because just at that moment the formation got open. Yi Mo knew that if he wanted to go out, he needed to find a moment when the formation loosened. He studied the formation on his own and lost track of time. After another year, he had gotten to stage 8, middle stage of Qi gathering, yet he still couldn't do anything about the 7-star formation. Until one day, when he found a formation door on the other 2 sects, Yi Mo realized that it wasn't a 7-star formation but a 9-star formation. This meant that what he had been studying before was all for nothing. Helplessly, he could only go to Chan City again and get Yunzi to help him buy large amounts of formation books. Then he went back and kept studying the 9-star formation. The 9 stars were 7 overt and 2 subvert. If he wanted to pass through this formation, he needed to understand the formation doors of the 2 subvert stars. Time flew by, and Yi Mo studied the formation every single day. After countless calculations, Yi Mo found 2 ways. One was to use large sums of top-grade spirit stones and forcibly connect with the 9-star formation's doors. However, not only did it require large amounts of spirit stones, it also needed him to be very powerful. Otherwise, the repulsive force of the formation would kill him and destroy the formation. The second way was to make another formation and connect it to the 9-star formation's doors. He would use his cultivation essence to search in the formation and find that sliver of time when the formation loosened. It was a stupid method, and he would need to be focused at all times, but he had no other way. At this moment, in a valley in the Duanheng Ranges in China, Luo Ying, Ning Qingxue, and Tang Beiwei stood by a huge rock. "Sister Luo Ying, did my brother leave from here?" Tang Beiwei asked strangely. Chapter 773. Go out or come in. Chapter 773. Go out or come in? Luo Ying nodded. It should be. When I reached stage 9 of Qi gathering, I remembered a lot of things. This is a 7-star formation. Marshall Brother told me about it. He probably went to the small world from here. And Luo Fei also said they came in from here last time. Then how do we go in? Ning Qingxue looked desperately at Luo Ying. She wasn't able to keep the longing for Yi Mo in her heart like Luo Ying. She wanted to see Yi Mo all the time. Luo Ying took out 7 spirit stones and said, "This formation needs 7 spirit stones. But the spirit stones we've found these years are too low in quality. I'll put them in the spots nonetheless, and then we can stand in this position and insert our qi, then there might be a possibility for us to open it. But afterwards, this formation will be completely destroyed." Why is that? Tang Beiwei looked strangely at Luo Ying. Luo Ying pointed at the bones on the side and the blood on the platform, because someone used a blood sacrifice on this formation a few years ago. So if we now also forcibly open it, this formation will completely close down unless someone with great power lays the formation again. Ning Qingxue suddenly thought of something. She bit her lips and said, "When I went out this time, I already told my parents it might happen, so it's fine even if I can't come back, but Tang Beiwei held Ning Qingxue's hand. "Sister Qingxue, are you worried that Brother isn't inside, and that if we can't come out, we won't see Brother again?" Ning Qingxue nodded. Why is Luo Fei here? Only Luo Ying had the habit of keeping her spirit sense out, so she was the only one to notice. Although Tang Beiwei and Ning Qingxue were both at stage 8 of Qi gathering, they didn't keep their spirit sense out all the time. Tang Beiwei and Ning Qingxue also noticed the person. Tang Beiwei greeted, "Sister Luo Fei, why did you come too?" Luo Fei's face showed surprise and joy and immediately rushed over. "You 3 are here indeed." The 3 guessed what was going on. Tang Beiwei asked, "Sister Fei, are Brother Su and Sister Yuehua okay?" Luo Fei nodded but didn't reply. Luo Ying said, "After I put the spirit stones in place, we'll send Qi into the Tian Ko position together. Don't rush it. We can try slowly first." At this moment, Yi Mo had dark circles under his eyes. His eyes were bloodshot, and his hair was so messy it looked like grass. He didn't know how long he had been there, and he just relied on the Pai Gu pill to fill up his stomach. This method was very tiring, but he didn't want to give up. He needed to keep watch of the formation constantly, so it consumed his spirit sense and cultivation essence greatly. Every time he used up his spirit sense, he would use his cultivation essence to check and further refine his spirit sense. After time, his spirit sense became very condensed. It went from 7 kilometers to 20 kilometers. His cultivation essence also became very condensed. Although he wasn't stage 9, yet he wasn't far away from it. This was due to him not cultivating. If he simply cultivated his essence every time he used up his spirit sense and cultivation essence, perhaps he would be at the tertiary stage of stage 9 by now. This was a very powerful improvement. Although his 3-birth chant digested spirit qi very fast, he also needed more spirit qi than normal to break through. If other people needed 10 top-grade spirit stones to break through, he would need 100 or more. This time, too, Yi Mo kept watch with his spirit sense while eating a food pill. But as soon as he did, he noticed the loosening of the formation as it was getting bigger and bigger. This was impossible. How could it be loosening at this time? Yet the impossible was happening in front of him. What was going on? Yi Mo didn't know what could have happened, but he grasped the opportunity and immediately inserted his qi. He wanted to make the formation loosen even more. Soon, he realized that the only reason why this formation could be loosening was because people from the outside were trying to open the formation. Who would it be? Only the hidden sex members knew about this formation. Yi Mo was bewildered, but he knew that there would only be one chance like this, and he wasn't going to give it up. At the same time, Luo Ying, Tang Beiwei, Ning Qingxue, and Luo Fei were sweating like crazy as they kept inserting their qi. They couldn't control their qi anymore, as it all got drawn in relentlessly. Luo Ying's face changed. She knew it was over. She didn't expect that their combined qi wouldn't be enough to open the formation. If she were by herself, she would be able to take the backlash and leave, but there were 4 people present. If she did that, the other 3 would immediately be killed by the formation. Tang Beiwei's face went pale as she struggled to speak. Sister Luo Ying, are we going to die? If this keeps sucking our qi like this, we could lose all our power. Luo Fei spewed out blood. She was trembling and was very close to completely exhausting her qi. Ning Qingxue glanced at Luo Ying. Her eyes were dim. She wasn't afraid of death, but she really didn't want to die without seeing her husband. Sister Luo Ying, I feel that I can control my own qi again. Tang Beiwei rejoiced. Luo Ying and the others also noticed this. Luo Ying breathed easy and said, although I don't know what's going on, this means that the formation is about to open. Luo Fei, are you okay? Luo Fei shook her pale face. I'm fine. But if it kept being like before, I would be a goner. Luo Ying thought for a moment before saying, perhaps someone is helping on the other side. But this is good for us. Don't lose focus, add more power. The 4 inserted more qi, and soon a rainbow formed next to the rock with a humming sound. The formation is about to open. Grab each other's hands so we don't land all over the place, Luo Ying advised. A huge suction power appeared on the rock, and it was like a gate as it swooped the 4 inside. At this moment, Yi Mo saw the formation open. He shot his qi inside as he dashed into the formation door. A strong suction force swept him along, and Yi Mo breathed easy. He finally got out. Sister Luo Ying, what is this place? These 9 peaks are so high. Tang Beiwei crawled up from the ground and looked at her surrounding. Luo Ying shook her head, but then said, there's air restrictions here. Is this the cultivation realm? Did Martial Brother not come here? Luo Fei was dazed for a moment. As she looked around, this is the small world, the magical continent. We're standing at Magical Continent Mountain. This is the same place we left from. I seem to be feeling Yimo's qi, Ning Qingxue murmured. Chapter 774. Yimo's Whereabouts. Chapter 774. Yimo's whereabouts. Luo Ying's eyes went red. I also felt his qi. Tang Beiwei wiped her eyes. She knew that although Sister Luo Ying didn't show it, she loved her brother just as much as Sister Qingxue. Luo Fei suddenly said, this place is only 50 kilometers away from Chan City. We can go there to find out about Brother Ye's whereabouts. Chan City is the center of the hidden sects. If Brother Ye showed himself, we can find out about him there. Luo Ying was the head of the 4. Hearing this, Luo Ying nodded. Okay, let's go to Chan City. First then. Soon, the 4 arrived outside Chan City. All of them could fly except for Luo Fei, which made her feel quite down. Luo Ying saw this and walked up to Luo Fei. Luo Fei, you can cultivate with us from now on. Martial Brother won't say anything if I teach you. Ha! Luo Fei's face was full of surprise and joy, but she immediately reacted and said, thank you, Sister Luo Ying. Should I dash? Luo Ying knew what she was going to say and waved her hand. We'll still be sisters. It would feel strange if you called me Master. Sister Qingxue, this city is so big. But if Luo Yu's city built a wall too, wouldn't it be much bigger than this? Tang Beiwei saw the tall city walls and exclaimed. Luo Fei nodded and said, yeah, Chan City is the biggest city in the hidden sects. And in the mortal world on the other side of the sea, there's also a very big city called Hangshui City. I can show you guys later, but I've only ever heard about it. Okay, but we need to find Brother first. Tang Beiwei also worried about Yi Mo a lot. Yi Mo was her only kin. As soon as the four walked into Chan City, they caught the eyes of almost everyone. Four extremely beautiful women appeared together in this prosperous city, but Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue had very strong temperaments, and people didn't dare to go up to them. In this city, power was everything. If you offended someone significant, you wouldn't even know how you died. The four walked into a hotel, and Tang Beiwei called the waiter. "I want to ask about someone." Luo Fei quickly said, "Beiwei, you won't find out about anything like this. There are countless people going in and out of Chan City every day. Unless it's a very famous person, it's pointless to ask like this. We'll ask the city lord to put up a notice, and then I think we should be able to find Brother Yi." Tang Beiwei nodded. "You're right, but wherever brother goes, he always becomes famous. Miss, I in fact happen to collect news. So perhaps if you tell me the name of the person you're looking for, I might know," the waiter commented. Ning Qingxue simply asked, "His name is Yemo. Do you know?" The waiter heard this name, and his face changed drastically. He didn't even talk, and just walked away. The very noisy restaurant area of the hotel became very quiet after hearing this name. "What's going on?" Tang Beiwei was confused. But before anyone said anything, she walked up to that waiter and stopped him. "Why did you leave after hearing my brother's name? Tell me, or don't blame me for what I might do," Tang Beiwei said. "Me, miss, I never said anything bad about Yi Qinbei. Please let me go." The waiter regretted for being a loudmouth. Tang Beiwei said coldly, "I will let you go if you tell me about Yi Mo. Otherwise, I'll speak. Yi Qinbei hasn't appeared for a few years," the waiter said shakily. Tang Beiwei was angry. "Since my brother hasn't appeared for a few years, why are you acting like this?" The waiter didn't dare to reply at all. At this moment, a youth sitting next to the window saluted with his fist as he walked over. "Miss, I am Lu Hushin from the All Heaven sect. It is thanks to Yi Qinbei that we are a special grade sect now. Ordinary people don't dare to talk about Yi Qinbei, but I can tell you about him." Tang Beiwei studied the young man and said, "Oh, in that case, please tell me what happened to Yi Mo." Lu Hushin's face was handsome, and he was very tall. He carried a long sword on his back. Lu Hushin saluted to Luo Ying and company with his fist, and then said, "For years ago, Yimo's wife, Mu Xiaoyun, was schemed for by the Tai sect, and because of that." Hearing this, Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue's hands shook. "Yimo got another wife here?" Meanwhile, Tang Beiwei looked down as she felt ashamed to face Sister Luo Ying and Sister Qingxue. Although she didn't mind personally, this was quite unfair towards them. But soon, Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue acted normal, as though nothing happened. Lu Hushin continued. Tai sect wanted Mu Xiaoyan no matter what, but Yi Qinbei happened to get there on time. At the Hidden Sect's grade tournament on Magical Continent Mountain, he exerted his dominance and killed tens of great heaven and earth level masters. Then he annihilated the Tai sect, Gemini Sword sect, Forgery Hall, and tens of sects that acted against him. Hearing this, Luo Fei shivered and spilled a cup on the table. She was extremely shocked. Yi Mo had killed so many great heaven masters all by himself and annihilated a special grade sect like Tai. This was unbelievable. If Yi Mo was this strong, didn't that mean he could easily wipe out her sect? Also, the All Heaven sect had been just a first-grade hidden sect before, yet now they were special grade. Such big changes had occurred amidst the hidden sects in a few years' time. But Lu Hushin continued, "With Yi Qinbei's dominance, ordinary people don't dare to show disrespect for him." After Yi Qinbei did these things, he went around looking for his wife and disappeared for a few years. A few years ago, those disciples who escaped from the Tai sect all came back under the lead of someone called Mo Yushin and formed the Tai sect again. Although it's no longer a special grade sect, there's still a first grade sect. You're saying that Yi Mo has been gone for a few years Ning Qingxue asked shakily. Lu Hushan replied, immediately seeing someone as pretty as Ning Qingxue ask him something. Yes, if Yi Qinbei hadn't disappeared for at least a few years, the Tai sect members wouldn't have dared to rebuild their sect. If he has been gone for a few years, why did the waiter not dare to answer us? Ning Qingxue asked coldly. Lu Hushan replied, because a month ago, a certain youth came to Chan City. He also asked for Yi Qinbei's whereabouts, but this was heard by a half-stepped great heaven elder of the Tai sect who immediately ridiculed Yi Qinbei and told that youth to piss off. After that, he called Yi Qinbei a coward and said that if he dared to come out, Tai would get its revenge. He's asking to die. How dare he talk about my brother like that? Tang Beiwei was furious. Lu Hushan smiled that youth said the same, though he called Yi Mo his master. When that Tai fellow heard this, he stood up to kill him. However, that youth killed the Tai master with just 2 moves. That wasn't the end of it. He went to the campsite of Tai in Chan City and killed a few Earth levels and kicked all the other disciples out of Chan City as well. Chapter 775. Luo Yu has changed. Chapter 775. Luo Yu has changed. If you guys have just come to this city, I can show you guys around if you don't mind. Lu Hushan looked eagerly at the girls. No need. Thank you. Tang Beiwei waved her hand and went back to her seat in disappointment. Lu Hushan didn't want to give up just yet. He saluted with his fist. If you're looking for Yi Qinbei, I can still help because Goddess Sihua is from our all-heaven sect dash. A crisp female voice interrupted him. Marshal Brother Lu, leave, there's no business for you here. Lu Hushan saw the woman coming through the door and immediately said, yes, Marshal Sister Yun. Yunzi walked to Luo Ying and company and was shook. She got news that a few girls were looking for Yi Mo. She thought it was Mu Xiaoyan, but instead it was these girls, out of which none was less pretty than her. When Yi Mo landed on the ground, he spread out his spirit sense. He immediately became excited, as he had returned indeed. But soon, Yi Mo noticed that this formation seemed to have been opened just then, and it was now broken. Yi Mo soon remembered that at Magical Continent Mountain, the formation had loosened for no reason. It seemed that he helped the people crossing over from here, while they helped him too. Yi Mo shook his head. The thing he wanted to do the most now was to get back to Luo Yu. Yi Mo's spirit sense had gotten very strong, and when he got on his flying sword and sent his spirit sense out, he immediately noticed that there was a hiding formation outside the valley. Yi Mo immediately dashed over to this formation. On the small platform inside the hiding formation, there was a tree with 10 bright red fruits. When Yi Mo saw this tree, his excitement was indescribable. He had looked all over the small world for it, but now he got it so easily. This was a bitter 10 years tree, 800-year-old bitter 10 years. If he moved this to his chaos world and then sold bitter 10 years in the cultivation realm, he would become filthy rich. But Yi Mo soon calmed himself down. He didn't even know if he could move the tree. Most importantly, he didn't have a place to plant it. Although he had a golden page world, the world was still gray. He couldn't even go in himself. The only thing about it was that things wouldn't deteriorate inside. No matter what, Yi Mo was still very excited obtaining the bitter 10 years. He took out 10 jade boxes and inscribed formations on them before then carefully placing the fruits inside and putting the boxes in his golden page world. Then he set up a few more formations around the tree. He couldn't dig the tree away now, but that didn't mean he wouldn't in the future. Luo Yu City was no longer the Luo Yu City of when Yi Mo left. It had a population of about 2 million now. Due to its proper urban planning and advanced technology, it had become a place everyone in the world wanted to visit. It looked very calm, but there were in fact a lot of hidden undercurrents. This was all because the leader of Luo Yu, Yi Mo, had disappeared for almost 10 years while his wives didn't care that much about power and also left 2 years ago to look for Yi Mo. So, The real power was in Su Yuehua's and Su Ping's hands. However, they were both immersed into cultivation as well. After Luo Yu stabilized, they spent most of their time cultivating. They knew this city was Yi Mo's anyway, so when Yi Zifeng and Yi Ling rose up, no one felt it was inappropriate to leave it to them. Su Yuehua was a bit better and still cared about Luo Yu's development, but Su Ping really put almost all of his time into cultivation. But recently, things had begun to touch Su Yuehua's and Su Ping's bottom line. So all the higher-ups of Luo Yu held one of their big meetings. Although Su Yuehua had been the one to bring it up, she didn't feel good about it at all. City Lord Su Yuehua, Vice City Lord Dong Tanjin, Vice City Lord Yi Zifeng, Vice City Lord Yi Ling, Army Marshal Su Ping, Head of Commerce Su Qianqian, Navy Commander Shinda, Ground Forces Commander Yi Zhihua, Head of Technology Dong Nana, Foreign Affairs Minister Dong Chong, and so on. Su Yuehua looked at this room, full of people, and suddenly felt lonely. She found most of the faces weren't familiar. What happened to Yu Miaodan, Zhang Jiayan, and Huang Yinian, Guiqi, Li Sandao, and the crazed tech genius Yi Xing? At this moment, Su Yuehua suddenly felt like she had betrayed Yi Mo's expectations. She had unknowingly let Luo Yu turn into this. She had only bothered herself with building Luo Yu's technology and helping it expand, spending all her remaining time cultivating. She didn't even notice the highest level of Luo Yu turning into this. If she wasn't the appointed city lord by Yi Mo, if Su Ping wasn't Yi Mo's second brother, could they even still stay in their positions? If they didn't both have Earth-level peak power, could they still maintain their power? In fact, she didn't even know who this Dong Tanjin was, yet he had more power than her in actuality. Su Yuehua was still being dazed when the Vice City Lord Dong Tanjin said, "Today's meeting will be held by me and City Lord Yuehua. Due to Yi Xing's departure, our new head of technology Dong Nana can't even look at a lot of the resources, let alone." Su Yuehua was furious already. This Dong Tanjin was stepping over the line. Yi Mo stood in the prosperous city and exclaimed out of surprise. He had left for many years, and in these years, Yi Xing and Su Yuehua didn't betray his expectations. Luo Yu City was built rather well. He desperately wanted to see Luo Ying and Qingxue, but he didn't know how to face them. Suddenly, there was a ruckus on the streets. Yi Mo looked over and saw someone smashing a clothing shop. Yi Mo frowned. How could this happen at Luo Yu? What was Fang Wei doing? "Yuan Gong, it's you?" Yi Mo squeezed in and saw that he actually knew the shop owner. It was Yuan Gong who came with him to Flowing Snake to start up Luo Yu Pharmaceuticals. He had a sister called Yuan Meixiang. Yi Mo met them and Zhang Jiayan on the train. How could someone smash a founding father's shop? Yuan Gong's eyes were red as he held a metal stick, ready to resist the patrol squad. There was a woman behind him, who was probably his wife. When he heard Yi Mo's voice, he turned around and saw Yi Mo. At that moment, he was dumbfounded and dropped the stick. "Yuan Gong, what's going on?" Yi Mo asked again. Yuan Gong suddenly knelt on the ground and started crying. "Brother Yi, is it really you? You're back?" Yi Mo pulled him up and asked coldly, "What is going on? Why is something like this happening? Where is Fang Wei, that bastard?" Before Yuan Gong could answer, the patrol squad leader studied Yi Mo and said in a weird tone, "Who are you? How dare you intervene with Luo Yu's law enforcement? Do you not want to live? Men, capture him for now." Yi Mo sneered and couldn't even be bothered asking why anymore. He casually swept his leg and broke all their legs. No matter who was right, he wasn't going to allow any law enforcement officers like these. These people didn't expect Yi Mo to be more strong and more unreasonable than them, breaking their legs without asking anything, and they started howling in pain. Yi Mo was annoyed by this even more, and he kicked all their teeth out. "What's going on? Yuan Gong, tell me." Yi Mo's tone was ice cold. He would never allow abuse of civilians on his land. Whoever dared do that would be killed. Chapter 776. What the hell are you? Chapter 776. What the hell are you? 2 years ago, City Lord Ning left Luoyu. The new Minister of Finance said my sister's records weren't clean and locked my sister up. I luckily bought this shop when Luoyu was just built. Due to my sister's case, I'm not allowed to work at Luoyu Pharmaceuticals anymore. So now keeping the shop open is all I can do, Yuan Gong said. Yi Mo frowned. Qingxue had left? He scanned his spirit sense out, and he didn't see Ning Qingxue, Luo Ying, or Tang Beiwei. He then looked at the meeting Su Yuehua was holding, and he didn't know most of the people there. Where was Sister Yu? And his Navy commander, Old Huang, Zhang Jiayan, and Guiqi weren't there either. He didn't even see Yi Xing. The more Yi Mo looked, the more unhappy he was. He scanned his spirit sense out 20 kilometers and didn't see these people anywhere. Yuan Gong continued. My shop was always very quiet, but for some reason Brother Fong Wei was also locked up and dash. What? Fong Wei is locked up? Yi Mo's eyes went colder and colder. There was a possibility that Yuan Meixiang's records weren't clean, but Yi Mo knew Fong Wei. He was very loyal. He would definitely not do something illegal. Why was he locked up? Yuan Gong nodded. Yes, because Brother Fong was locked up, these people started doing as they pleased. These people were sent by the Dong family. The Dong family is the most powerful family in Luoyu right now. A servant of theirs wants my shop, and so now they want to rob it. Yi Mo's face was oozing frigidity now. He kicked the patrol fellows away and said, Does Su Yuehua not know about all this at all? Or does she not bother to care? Yuan Gong shook his head. I don't know. I wrote to her saying that my sister was innocent, but I got no reply. What happened to my sister? And I isn't even that bad. Last year, there was an incident with a family from Europe because they had a pretty daughter, and Dong Zheng from the Dong family wanted her. When the family didn't agree to his advances, the next day the entire family died, and the daughter was raped and killed. When the police investigated, they declared it a family suicide. Haha, suicide, very well. Yi Mo didn't want to stay here any longer at all. I disagree with City Lord Dong's words. The secret files of the tech department aren't even visible to me. How long has Dong Nana been here for? Unless my third brother signs for it personally, no one is allowed to go see those records. Su Ping rebuked Dong Tanjin's words. Dong Tanjin sneered. CEO Su, if I bring this up, it means it has been approved of. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring it up. City Lord Yi, you can start a vote. Su Yuehua knew that if there wasn't a secret card needed to access the files, Dong Tanjin wouldn't even bother holding a meeting for this. After Yi Xing left, the card to the room was left to her. The ground forces commander, Yi Shihua, suddenly got up and said, I agree with City Lord Dong's proposal. Also, I believe the conservative position of City Lord isn't beneficial to the development of Luoyu. I propose a 4-year term for the City Lord position just like the U.S. and their president. This way we can vote for a new City Lord. Su Yuehua was furious. She was no politician, but Yi Mo had given her the position of City Lord. She didn't care about the position, but about letting Yi Mo's hopes down. Seeing Su Yuehua's anger, Dong Tanjin sneered. These few idiots all showed their emotions on their faces. No wonder he had only needed a few years to get 80% of the political power in Luoyu. Yi Zifeng coughed and got up. My brother gave the position to Su Yuehua. I don't think we should touch it. If my brother comes back, we dash. Fong Nana heard this and immediately sulked. Zifeng, we're talking about serious matters here. You can't just speak out of personal feelings like that. We've been married for a few years, but did you see me troubling you out of personal matters? Yeah, City Lord Zifeng. Yi Mo hasn't come back in all these years. If something happened to him, are we to stagnate like this? Moreover, The military of Luo Yu also agrees to changing the city lord. Dong Tanjin smiled. Su Ping was immediately furious. When did I agree? The military disagrees with this proposal. Do you represent the military? Then what do Yi Shihua and Shinda represent? Dong Tanjin sneered. Yi Shihua and Shinda got up and said, we represent the Luo Yu Navy and ground forces, and we support City Lord Dong's proposal. Those who disagree can talk to our troops. Even if Yi Mo himself came back and disagreed, he would need to ask our troops. Very well, I disagree. Now get your troops to ask me. A cold voice sounded, and everyone looked at the door of the meeting room. There was no alert to this new arriver, and everyone was shook upon seeing why. CEO. Third brother, you're back. Brother Yi. Yi Mo felt warm hearing these voices. There were still some people who remembered him. Yi Mo. Dong Tanjin was dazed, but soon reacted and saluted with his fist. This is Luo Yu's highest level meeting. How about I invite you to rest first? And after the meeting, Yi Mo looked coldly at Dong Tanjin and said, and what the hell are you? Who let you sit there? Big brother, Brother Tan is the #1 vice city lord right now. Everyone voted for him. Yi Zifeng got up and said. Yi Mo glanced at Yi Zifeng but didn't answer. He looked coldly at Dong Tanjin. Dong Tanjin's face went cold, and he signaled at Yi Shihua, but Yi Shihua was shaking at the sight of Yi Mo. He didn't see Dong Tanjin's signal at all. Seeing this, Dong Tanjin sneered and said plainly, I'm Dong Tanjin. Perhaps due to my late arrival, I don't know, Mr. Yi. You're our valuable guest, but this is an important meeting, so please someone come. 3 men came out immediately, 2 of whom were half-step great heaven, and 1 was a mutant master. He was at least level 8 or higher. Lock him up. Dong Tanjin waved at the 3 men. Yi Zifeng's face burst red. City Lord Dong, he's my big brother. Luo Yu City is his. What are you saying? Dong Tanjin waved at Yi Zifeng. Zifeng, private matters belong to the private sphere. Nana also just told you. Luo Yu City isn't Yi Mo's. It's everyone's. Don't worry, I'm just preventing him from obstructing our meeting. I won't hurt him. So you're from that currently most powerful family in Luo Yu, the Dong family? Yi Mo suddenly asked. We can talk after the meeting, Mr. Yi. Dong Tanjin was very calm, as though everything and everyone was under his control. Dong Tanjin closed his eyes, and those 3 masters charged at Yi Mo. Su Ping got up immediately, but Yi Mo waved his hand at him. Yi Mo sneered. No wonder Dong Tanjin was this cocky. He could get such masters, 3 of them at that. He definitely wasn't ordinary. However, Yi Mo was unhappy with Yi Zifeng's attitude. He was his brother, yet he was helping Dong Tanjin. Yi Ling didn't talk, but Yi Mo saw guilt in her eyes too. Perhaps Yi Ling had even helped this guy. However, these people were insects to the current Yi Mo. Yi Mo mobilized his cultivation essence, and the 3 masters immediately felt like they had sunk into a dense mud pit and couldn't move at all. They immediately knew things weren't good, but before they could react, Yi Mo waved his hand, and 3 wind blades brought down 3 heads. Dong Tanjin was dazed. He was the one who brought these 3, and he knew best how powerful they were. It could be said that no one in the world could stop the 3 of them together, yet they didn't last a single move against Yi Mo. Before Dong Tanjin could react, Yi Mo walked to Dong Tanjin and grabbed him. He threw him into the air and swiped out. Blood splashed out, and when Dong Tanjin fell on the ground, his ligaments were missing. Yi Zifeng looked at this in shock. The #2 figure in Luo Yu, his brother-in-law, had turned into that out of nowhere. Chapter 777. Leave no one alive. Chapter 777. Leave no one alive, big brother. You. Yi Zifeng looked dazedly at Yi Mo. He had heard a lot about how Yi Mo was decisive in killing, but this was the first time he saw his brother kill, and so bloodily at that. Yi Mo didn't seem to see Yi Zifeng and shot out four-finger winds, stopping Dong Tanjin's bleeding. No one could believe how easily he stopped that massive bleeding. Everyone in the meeting room had woken up by then. Su Yuehua and Su Ping were fine, but Su Qianqian was already puking. This was too bloody. She knew why Yi Mo was killing these people. She had known the purpose of this meeting too, but she could only protect herself. Yi Mo had given her this opportunity and recovered her looks. Hence, she didn't want to join the Dong family's side, so she had been planning on resigning, but now Yi Mo had come back. Yi Mo looked coldly at Yi Shihua and Shinda, who tried to leave. If you sit there and don't move, I might leave you with a full body. If you dare to move, then you will be like this cocky guy. Big brother, Shihua is my cousin. He's from the Yi family. Yi Zifeng finally understood how domineering and unreasonable Yi Mo could be. Yi Mo looked coldly at Yi Zifeng finally and said, Zifeng, the first thing I need to tell you is this. Luo Yu does not belong to the Yi family. Even if Yi Beirong dared to do the same thing, I would still kill him. Secondly, being from a big family, how can you be so foolish? I wouldn't care about you being the city lord. But what about forgetting the original people who followed me? Did they do any wrong? You don't need to explain to me. There will be other people to do that. Then Yi Mo walked to Dong Tanjin and kicked him on the head. Dong Tanjin's eyes went blank. Tell me, what is your name? Yi Mo looked at the convulsing Dong Tanjin and said coldly. Dong Tanjin answered in a monotone voice, I'm Dongfang Tanjin. Who sent you here, and what for? Yi Mo asked. Dong Tanjin replied, the young master sent me here. He believes Luo Yu is more suitable for Shi Tang's development. We will take over everything in Luo Yu. Yi Mo then looked at Dong Chong and Dong Nana and said, you don't need to think about anything else. Since you dared to come to Luo Yu then. Yi Mo caught a bullet and immediately flicked it back out. Blood exploded as Dong Chong's hand that was holding a gun was completely shattered with blood splashing onto Dong Nana and Yi Shihua. Yi Mo walked over and kicked out a few times. Dong Nana, Yi Shihua, Dong Chong, and Shinda were all kicked together into the same spot. Is your young master Dongfang Wang? I don't think Dongfang Tang has the balls to do this, so it must be. The Dongfang family is quite cocky. You think you can rob Luo Yu's land just like that? I really want you to bring a message to Dongfang Wang this time. Even if he takes the positions of all of Luo Yu's higher-ups, Luo Yu City will never belong to the Dongfang, Yi Mo said coldly. Yi Zifeng murmured, how can this be? Nana, you're also Dongfang, aren't you? Zifeng, I'm sorry, I owe you. Dongfang Nana suddenly got up and turned to ram her head into the pillar. Yi Zifeng saw this and immediately charged over to grab her. Nana, don't do this. Big brother won't kill you. Yi Mo sneered. He saw with his spirit sense that Dongfang Nana had a mini pistol in her pocket. She didn't need to ram her head into the wall to kill herself. But Yi Mo couldn't be bothered exposing that. He could tell that Yi Zifeng really loved Dongfang Nana, but she was just using him. Yi Mo walked up to a seat and sat down before saying slowly, Second brother, Sister Yuehua, why are so many familiar people missing? Why is Fong Wei locked up? Su Ping looked down guiltily. Sorry, third brother, I didn't help you manage this family well. Su Yuehua got up and said, CEO, the main responsibility is mine. I just realized that the documents telling Commander Huang, Yu Miaodan, and the rest to resign were all signed by me. Zifeng brought me those documents to sign, so I didn't mind that much. Yi Ling suddenly said at this moment, I know that Sister Yu and Commander Huang never wanted to resign. Those orders were fake. After Sister Yuehua signed other things, Dongfang Tanjin changed the content and used Sister Yuehua's supposed orders to capture Sister Yu and company brother. Second brother is infatuated with Dongfang Nana and has fought with Sister Yuehua many times. Sister Yuehua always felt she was an outsider due to Zifeng's identity, which allowed them to take over Luo Yu step by step. I could see it happen, but I didn't dare say anything. Sister Luo Ying and Qing Xue all left. I wanted to tell them after they came back, but they haven't been back ever since leaving. Luckily you came back today." Yiling wiped her eyes. She knew that if she exposed these things, Sister Yuehua and Su Ping and company might be killed by these people. The only reason why they didn't was because they feared a riot happening. She knew things would all be corrected when her brother came back, but dead people couldn't be returned back to life. She had seen with her own eyes Brother Zong being unable to even last 3 moves even when he was at the Earth-level tertiary stage, when he was caught against that master brother Yi had killed. Luckily, brother had returned, and now things would be back to how they were before. Yi Mo sighed and walked up to Yiling. "Yiling, I thought wrong of you. Were things already past the point of no return when you found out?" Yi Zifeng was the person who had willingly betrayed them. Yiling just couldn't do anything about it. "Brother," Yiling nodded and cried into Yimo's arms. Yiling cried for a while and suddenly remembered something. "Brother, you should quickly go save Sister Yu Commander Huang and the others. They were locked up by Dongfang Tanjin at Hezi Strait military prison." "What? They left Luo Yu already?" Su Yuehua got up in shock and asked shakily. Yi Zifeng was also dazed. He had always been grateful for Dongfang Nana's understanding and caring attitude towards him. When so many old people of Luo Yu left, she introduced that many capable people to Luo Yu. Only now did he realize how much of a fool he was. Yet he still wasn't able to hate her. "I will go save them." Su Ping slammed the table. His face showed extreme guilt and anger. Yi Mo waved his hand. "No need. I will go save them. This is my fault." Then Yi Mo killed Yi Shihua and Shinda with 2 wind blades, and then destroyed Dongfang Chang's and Dongfang Nana's dantians before saying to Su Yuehua, "Sister Yuehua, now is not the time to punish yourself. Lock these 2 up and interrogate them." Then Yi Mo said to Su Ping, "Second brother, go take control of the army immediately and annihilate the Dongfang family, no matter if they're here or outside. Kill everyone except for the women they robbed from Luo Yu City. Leave no one alive." "What?" Everyone was shaken at these words. Chapter 778. Dongfang Wang's Trump Card. Chapter 778. Dongfang Wang's trump card. What? Everyone was shocked by Yi Mo's words. Leave no one alive? Was this still modern-day society? If news of this reached the Union, perhaps they would start a 3rd war with Luo Yu in the name of human rights. Dongfang Nana and Dongfang Chom shivered. Only now did they realize what sort of enemy their young master had offended. These last few years, Yi Mo hadn't been at Luo Yu and they hadn't seen him, so they thought Yi Mo was just Sozo. What Yi Mo had said now was still understandable to Su Ping and Su Yuehua, but to Yi Zifeng and Shin Qianqian it was shocking. Shin Qianqian subconsciously said, "Brother Yi, shouldn't we lock them up first, then take them to court?" And then Yi Mo sneered. He wasn't a political idiot. He had come back to establish his dominance. If he couldn't even do that, then what would happen if he left Luo Yu for a long time again? Luo Yu was different from other countries. This was a new city and they didn't need to copy other countries' laws. He needed to use bloody warnings to all those who might want to plot against Luo Yu City. He needed to tell them, there is no court battling here. If I want to kill you, I will. He turned around to Su Yuehua and added, after second brother kills them all, list their crimes publicly. Yi Mo paused for a moment and add another law to Luo Yu City. Those who betray the country can be killed unconditionally as long as I confirm it. This was a dictator law, but Yi Mo didn't think he would ever wrong the innocent. He didn't give this authority to anyone else either. The Dongfang family could kill another family as they wished, go to their home and rape, and kill while telling everyone it was suicide. This had touched his bottom line. Even if he wronged some innocents of the Dongfang family, Now, he would be giving justice to those who lived in Luoyu. He had created Luoyu City to give peace and harmony-loving people a place to live happily, not for someone to abuse Luoyu citizens, not even Yi Zifeng. Yi Ling looked at Yi Shihua, who was lying dead on the ground. Her eyes were disappointed. She didn't like these things, but the Yi family members just had to come start trouble in this peaceful Luoyu. She knew long ago that if her brother came back, none of these people would be able to get away. The reason why all these things had happened in Luoyu was because Yi Mo hadn't specified Su Yuehua's authority. Yi Zifeng thought Yi Mo had left him there to balance Su Yuehua's power. Moreover, Su Yuehua was more suitable for being head of intelligence, but not really for being city lord. What is it? Third brother. Su Ping said. Su Yuehua and company all looked at Yi Mo, who was suddenly stopping Su Ping, not knowing why he was doing that. Yi Mo had calmed down and given things a bit more thought. Dongfang Wang had started this. With his wits, there was no way he didn't account for the possibility of failure. He must have some trump card to dare do this, and that trump card would be used to negotiate with him when the plan failed. Those of the Dongfang family were all cunning like foxes. If he underestimated them, he would be the one suffering. What was Dongfang Wang's trump card? Second brother, don't startle anyone yet, let me think. Everyone sit down. Yi Mo also sat down and rubbed his head. Yi Mo knew that he wouldn't be able to think of anything in his current mood. He took out a few transmission runes and gave them to Su Ping and Su Yuehua. Then he said, Second brother, go take over the military immediately and lock down Luoyu for now. Don't allow so much as a bird to fly out. After that, go annihilate the Dongfang family. If anything comes up, tell me through this transmission rune. And once everything is under control, you can go rescue Sister Yu and company for me. In this situation, he could only move very fast. He should be the one rescuing people himself, but he had to figure out what Dongfang Wang's next move was. Yes, Su Ping walked out and disappeared from the doorway quickly. Yi Mo then said to Su Yuehua, Sister Yuehua, use the highest order of the city and immediately shut down all means of transportation. Secondly, immediately shut down all telecommunications within Luoyu. Without the next order, it is not to be started again. Also start up Luoyu's interference machine and stop any signals from going out. We'll communicate using these transmission runes only. Yes, President, Su Yuehua knew that Yi Mo must have thought of something important. By the way, Sister Yuehua, I told you to investigate a place called Shitang before. Do you have any news? Yi Mo asked. Su Yuehua shook her head. I wasn't able to find it, but I did find out that after the Sui Tang dynasty, there was a power faction in Jingping called the Great Shitang. Pretty quickly, though, that power faction died down. There were barely any records left of it. Yi Mo knew that if this matter were so easily gotten to the bottom of, Shitang wouldn't be able to exist till today. With Yi Mo's order, Luoyu City became restless once again. Some people were arrested, but most importantly, almost everyone knew that big things were about to happen after telecommunications were shut down. Yi Mo interrogated Dongfang Nana and Dongfang Chong, but the result was that they were just pawns sent by Dongfang Wang. They didn't know what Dongfang Wang's next move was either. The only useful thing he got out of their mouths was one of Dongfang Wang's HQ locations, Xian Lianai Island. This was a private island which Dongfang Wang had gotten 5 years earlier to develop his power. Yi Mo sighed. He didn't know if Dongfang Wang had savings before or not, but earning enough money to buy an island within 5 years, this guy was really capable. If Dongfang Wang just wanted to recover his Shitang, that was fine, but he shouldn't have tried to mess with Luoyu. Xian Lianai Island was about 6 square kilometers big. No matter if Dongfang Wang was on this island or not, Yi Mo was going to annihilate it. Yi Mo sent his spirit sense out and Su Ping had acted quickly and managed to gain control over the army. Yi Mo nodded. After all, Su Ping was the original commander. So now that Yi Shihua, this outsider, had died, it was effortless to regain control over the army that belonged to him in the past. A few gunshots and explosions sounded when Su Ping encountered some people who didn't fear death. However, the explosion shook Yi Mo explosion? Right? Why didn't he think of it? If he was Dongfang Wang, the only way to bring the enemy down with you was to physically destroy Luo Yu. Luo Yu's air defense was too strong, so the only way to do that was to plant the bombs in Luo Yu and detonate them. Thinking about this, Yi Mo sweated. Chapter 779. More important thing. Chapter 779. More important thing, realizing the danger of the situation. Yi Mo knew that it was pointless to call Su Ping back immediately. The only thing to do was to check if Dongfang Wang had really planted bombs in Luo Yu. If he had no way but to take them out before Dongfang Wang detonated them. Thinking about this, he scanned his spirit sense out at once, not even leaving out underground. Luckily, his spirit sense was more than 20 kilometers long, so it could go through the earth easily. Soon, Yi Mo's expression looked really bad. He had indeed found bombs, timed bombs with radioactive effects. These bombs could kill thousands of people at once. Not only that, the radioactive substances would completely destroy Luo Yu. Dongfang Wang was really sinister. Yi Mo calmed down. His safety measures were of some use. Dongfang Wang would have to be notified for him to decide to detonate the bombs no matter what, and he had cut off the city's telecommunications. The moment after, Yi Mo had left the meeting room. He needed to dig away the bombs as quickly as he could. Yi Mo's spirit sense was very powerful, and as it swooped the heavens and earth, he found out that there was more or less a bomb every kilometer. The most densely populated places had more bombs. Yi Mo was furious. Luo Yu had to bleed. These people were hidden very deeply. Hence, since Yi Mo had decided to act up, he wasn't going to be soft. The bombs had been placed very strangely. Some were inside trees, some were inside water or earth, some were in the middle of the road, or inside walls. Other than Yi Mo, no one would be able to find them all without knowing the exact place. Without the support of a city manager, these bombs wouldn't have been able to be placed at all. And based on their locations, Yi Mo knew this hadn't been done in a day or two. These bombs were like mini nuclear bombs. Each one of them was very expensive. That Dongfang Wang was really wealthy. In order to create nuclear fission bombs, Yi Mo believed that Dongfang Wang had to have collaborators. Yi Xing could have been involved, but Yi Mo didn't believe Yi Xing would do that, despite not knowing where Yi Xing had gone. His collaborator would at least have Northern Sand's level of technology power. Even with Yi Mo's spirit sense and speed, he took half a day to take out all the bombs in Luo Yu City. There were 59 in total. Yi Mo quickly placed these in his Golden Page world and then checked many times to see if there were any more bombs. After this, the first thing he was going to do was set up automatic bomb-checking devices and alert the city if bombs were found. Yi Mo only breathed at ease when he received Su Ping's news. Third brother, we found Yang Jiu, who used to follow you Miaodan before he betrayed us and killed a few soldiers. Yang Jiu? Yi Mo immediately remembered Yang Jiu and Han Zai, who he had taken in from Earth Fiend. He had even helped them to take out the goo bug. Yet now, as soon as he left, Yang Jiu betrayed them. What about Han Zai? I'll come over, Yi Mo said. Everything outside had been controlled, and Yang Jiu had been subjugated. He was tied to a pole. Even when Yang Jiu was tied up, he still had a face full of contempt. However, when he saw Yi Mo come, horror flashed across his eyes. He hadn't expected Yi Mo to have come back. The pressure Yi Mo gave him stuck to his heart. Even the soldiers on the square stopped breathing and stood up still when they saw Yi Mo come. Almost 90% of them hadn't seen Yi Mo, but he was a legend. Stories of how he had created Luo Yu had long been spread throughout the city. Yi Mo looked coldly at Yang Jiu and asked plainly, I really want to ask you, when did I ever mistreat you? Or when did Luo Yu ever mistreat you? Yang Jiu wasn't afraid of Su Ping, but he was afraid of Yi Mo. Su Ping sneered. Yang Jiu, didn't you just say that I wouldn't dare kill you, and Luo Yu was controlled by your master? Yang Jiu suddenly looked up, yet there wasn't much fear in his eyes. He bit his teeth and said, Yes, I said that. Yi Mo, I know you're strong, but you can't kill me. Because if you kill me, Luo Yu will be over immediately. Oh, then tell me why that is. Su Ping looked scornfully at Yang Jiu without taking his words seriously at all. Yang Jiu suddenly had fear in his eyes. He thought that almighty person, that young master, was like a demon. It seemed he could do anything. He had said he was going to take down Yu Miaodan, and he had succeeded. He had said he would take down the commander of ground forces Guiqi, and he succeeded too. He had said he was going to make Dong Tanjin the #1 vice city lord, and the second day after he said it, Dong Tanjin had become the #1 vice city lord. Yi Mo looked at Yang Jiu and could tell that he was thinking about something else instead. Suddenly, Yi Mo lost interest in chatting anymore. Where did Hanzai go? Did you capture Sister Yu? Yang Jiu was shook and subconsciously answered, I killed Hanzai, and I captured Yu Miaodan. Yi Mo waved his hand. Kill him? No. Yi Mo, you can't kill me. The young master said that if you kill me, Luo Yu is over, Yang Jiu said. He had reacted, but Yi Mo didn't even turn back to look at him as he walked out of the square. When Yi Mo went back to the meeting room again, Su Yuehua was back. Su Ping was still commanding outside. At the same time, Yu Miaodan, Zhang Jian, Huang Yinian, Guiqi, Lu Lin, Fong Nan, Fong Wei, and all the others were also back. Shi Xiu and his wife were also there too. Even the Air Force Commander Sherman, who hadn't come to the meeting before, also came. They were political prisoners. Although they had been locked up, Dong Fong Wang clearly didn't intend to kill them, so they were rather healthy. Although everyone knew Yi Mo had come back, when they really saw Yi Mo, they finally dared to believe it was real. They all got up. To them, if anything happened in Luo Yu, as long as Yi Mo was back, it would be fine. Yi Zifeng had also come to the meeting. When he saw that so many Qianbei had been locked up due to him, he realized how dumb he had been if Yima hadn't come back, and Luo Yu would have been completely controlled by the Dongfang family. All of those people would have been killed. Brother Zong, Sister Yu, and Commander Huang, I owe you. I let such things happen in Luo Yu. I feel really embarrassed. This is our home, yet I let other people come in and cause harm to you. This is my fault. Yi Mo apologized. No matter what, these people had helped him build Luo Yu, but they had gotten locked up. Su Yuehua sighed. When Miaodan left, I went to send her off. However, I didn't expect she would get locked up. Miaodan, I'm sorry to you all. Yu Miaodan was very disappointed. Yet now that they apologized, she knew that she couldn't blame Yi Mo. They idealized politics too much. Zhang Jian said casually, let the past stay in the past. We need Luo Yu to stabilize as quickly as possible. Yi Mo nodded. Okay, everyone go back to your posts first. Once Luo Yu stabilizes, we will discuss about the future. And Yuehua, recover the city's telecommunications. Yi Zifeng walked up to everyone and apologized. He had been the main cause of this. Shi Xiu, help Yuehua. We'll talk later. Yi Mo was quite happy that Shi Xiu had come. He was his best friend after all. After all this, there was a more important thing he needed to do. Chapter 780. Psycho Dongfang Wang. Chapter 780. Psycho Dongfang Wang Xin Lianai Island was in between the Philippines and Indonesia. Yi Mo had never been someone who wouldn't strike back after being attacked. The first thing he did after handing Luo Yu over to the others was to go find Dongfang Wang to this island. The island wasn't small, it was rather big. It belonged to an European tycoon before, and somehow it had become Dongfang Wang's. Yi Mo had indeed seen some soldiers training there, and their equipment was rather good. Their defenses were very thorough, but to Yi Mo they were non-existent. Yi Mo got to the center of the island. There was an impressive estate, and there were many barracks outside of it. There were about 1,000 barracks on that small island. Yi Mo looked at their flag, which had two ancient characters, yet he could tell it was Shi Tang. This was Dongfang Wang's base indeed, and a place where he trained his troops. It seemed that Dongfang Wang was much more decisive than his brothers. Both of them had wanted to rely on other people to build their own empire. After seeing that many of the Dongfang family's people had come to Luo Yu, Yi Mo realized that Dongfang Wang was the real young master of the Dongfang family. Dongfang Shi and Dongfang Tang had probably wanted to be the young master too, but they couldn't get the support of the Dongfang family. Hence, they had no way but to rely on themselves. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out and saw 2 new battleships. However, it was a pity that he couldn't find Dongfang Wang. It seemed he wouldn't be able to kill that guy that day. Yi Mo didn't care that much. He believed that with his current spirit sense, it wouldn't be very hard to find Dongfang Wang. Yi Mo planted the bombs he had taken out of Luo Yu City on the island, and even on the 2 battleships, although it was easy for him to kill the people in it. To Yi Mo, it was much more satisfying to let Dongfang Wang have a taste of his own medicine. As soon as Yi Mo was done, he received Su Yuehua's call. Luo Yu's biggest meeting center was full of people by the time Yi Mo got there. They all got up when Yi Mo entered the room. He looked at the screen in the meeting room and saw it was Dongfang Wang's face. "What's going on?" Yi Mo asked Yu Miaodan. Dongfang Wang spoke on 0 Degree International TV attacking Luo Yu, saying that we went against international laws and ignore human rights. Yu Miaodan said in contempt. Yi Mo nodded and sat down. He had never heard of 0 Degree TV. Su Yuehua explained, 0 Degree TV belongs to the Northern Sand country. Although it has a short history, it's one of the top 10 biggest TV channels on Earth. Yi Mo looked at Su Yuehua in shock. Northern Sand formed a country? Su Yuehua nodded. Yes, 6 years ago. There were some internal conflicts in a small country in Africa. A party took over the other party and re-established national constitution. 2 years later, the country was renamed as Northern Sand. Yi Mo thought about this. Now things made sense. He didn't keep asking, and instead focused his attention on Dongfang Wang. Dongfang Wang seemed much more mature than 10 years ago. His face was also bleaker. Our Dongfang family had been contributing to Luo Yu. Our entire family had even moved there. Yet what did the dictator of Luo Yu do? He did something as inhumane as annihilating our entire family. Are we a primitive society? Is he a dark fascist ruler? The only option is carnage in the eyes of Luo Yu's dictator. I feel deeply worried for the citizens living in Luo Yu. I am representing the entire Dongfang family to call out to the world. We can't allow these butchers to continue. We need to resist. We need to destroy the dictator of Luo Yu. Dongfang Wang's expression was crazed, and he waved his hand every time he spoke a word. Yes, I know the Union won't do anything to Luo Yu. However, no matter how cruel and bloody Luo Yu's dictator is, he can't stop our resistance dash. Suddenly, the screen changed to another channel. Yi Mo sneered. No matter how much Dongfang Wang tried to stir things up, the reality was more powerful than his arguments. Yi Mo didn't think the Northern Sand country issue was so simple. Northern Sand, unlike Dongfang Wang, was a powerful organization that had the same technology level as America. Meanwhile, Dongfang Wang was just a madman. Most importantly, their goal wasn't just to build a country. It was world domination. They hadn't had an open land to stay in before, but now that they had built their own country, they could do things openly. Northern Sand was not like the U.S. The U.S. dominated, but they still had some sense. They wouldn't try to annihilate every country on the planet, but North Sand was different. Those who followed them would prevail, and those who didn't would get annihilated. That was their ideal world. If they had the power to destroy the world, they would just shoot nukes casually. Life was worthless in their eyes. Just when Yi Mo was about to talk, Dongfang Wang tried to video call with him. Yi Mo was dazed, but he immediately sneered. He knew what Dongfang Wang was going to do. Accept the call and send what he says to the world through Luo Yu TV, Yi Mo sneered. Su Yuehua dazed. President, are we really going to broadcast our conversation with Dongfang Wang to the world? Yi Mo nodded. Yes, let the whole world know what he's talking about. If he wants this satisfaction, I'll let him have it. I'm sure he won't expect this. When the video call was accepted, it was immediately broadcasted live. The news reporter of Luo Yu said, after Dongfang Wang undermined Luo Yu on 0 Degree TV, he immediately requested to video call with Luo Yu. This is a live broadcast of his video call. Let us see what this hypocrite has to say. The screen changed to Dongfang Wang's face. Dongfang Wang was holding a controller and laughing hysterically. Yi Mo, I know you're watching this. I came to tell you exciting news. If you hadn't killed the Dongfang family's people, perhaps we could have negotiated. But you psycho killed my family without even negotiating first. I will let you know who I am. I will make you remember forever. You're a psycho, okay? But I'm more psycho than you. This controller can detonate time bombs all across the world. You will be very happy with the explosion of 60 bombs under you. Enjoy the fireworks at Luo Yu. Ha ha ha. Then Dongfang Wang pressed the controller. Everyone in the meeting room was dazed. Dongfang Wang had planted so many bombs in Luo Yu, yet none of the people there knew. The people's hearts sunk. They had just gotten out of jail, but now they were going to get bombed. Yi Mo's heart also skipped a beat. He had only found 59. Where was the last one? Chapter 781. Luo Yu Reorganization. Chapter 781. Luo Yu Reorganization. Seeing them stand up in shock, Yi Mo waved his hand and told them to shut down the video. Don't worry, I've already found the bombs and dealt with it. Starting today, we need to build a bomb defense system for inside the city to prevent this from happening again. Hearing this, everyone calmed down. They rejoiced that Yi Mo had come back. Otherwise, their years of hard work would have been all destroyed. Yi Mo could also rest at ease. He hadn't heard any explosions in Luo Yu City, which meant that it wasn't that he hadn't found the bomb, but that for some reason the bomb hadn't been installed at all. Yi Mo then looked at Su Yuehua. Sister Yuehua, where did Yi Xing go? Did he leave by himself? Before Su Yuehua could answer, Yi Ling walked to Yi Mo and took out a letter. Yi Xing brother left by himself. He left this letter for you, telling you not to worry about him. I will tell you about Sister Luo Ying and Qingxue later. Yi Mo nodded. Although he was desperate to know about them, he still had to deal with Luo Yu first. Moreover, with Luo Ying's talent, perhaps she was already stronger than him after cultivating so many years. She wouldn't be in any danger if she went out to look for him. Yi Mo didn't open the letter and just scanned it with his spirit sense. 2 years after he left, Yi Xing recovered his memories completely. He knew where he came from. So he used Luo Yu's resources to build his own spaceship in 6 years and leave the country. Yi Xing said that because he only had 4 energy stones and the materials might have not been good enough, the spaceship couldn't leave Earth. However, he wanted to use it to go around and see if he could find why he had come there, and if it was possible to go back. If not, perhaps he would go back to Luo Yu in a few years. At this moment, Su Yuehua's phone rung. Su Yuehua picked it up and immediately put it down in joy. According to our satellite image, there was a sudden, huge explosion at Xian Lianai Island. It almost turned the island upside down. We've sent people to investigate the cause. Yi Mo nodded. He was shook. These bombs were really powerful. At the same time, Dongfang Wang, who was still in northern San, didn't hear news of Luo Yu being bombed either. Instead, he got news of Xian Lianai Island being bombed, and how his words had been broadcasted live. He was so angry he spat blood and cursed at Yi Mo before fainting. In order to fight Yi Mo, he had had to even cooperate with Dongfang Tang, whom he had had great conflicts with, yet this the result. Seeing Yi Mo's calm expression, everyone who knew him understood what had happened. They couldn't believe that Yi Mo could transport all the bombs to the island in such a short time. It was impossible. Yi Mo felt very satisfied upon hearing these news. Dongfang Wang had destroyed his own base. Currently Luo Yu needs development. I want to hear everyone's ideas, Yi Mo asked. As for Dongfang Wang, he had decided to go kill him later. Su Yuehua got up and said, "President, I have made grave mistakes during my time as city lord. I wish to resign." Yi Mo nodded. Su Yuehua wasn't suitable for that position indeed, but who would replace her? This person must have political capabilities and be completely loyal to Luo Yu. Yi Mo wasn't too worried about the second part, as everyone there was loyal. Yi Zifeng also got up and said, "Big brother, I don't feel like I should stay as vice city lord. I request to resign." Yi Ling also wanted to say something, but Yi Mo knew what she was about to say, so he patted her shoulder for her to sit down. "Who do you think is the most suitable person for the city lord position?" Yi Mo asked everyone. Everyone looked at Yi Mo. He was certainly the best candidate, but they knew it was implausible. He wasn't at Luo Yu most of the time. Seeing that nobody talked, Yi Mo said, "I'll name the various positions in Luo Yu, and from now on, the citizens will vote for the city lord. All the other political positions can be decided by vote. Now, I suggest Naval Commander Huang Yinian to be the next city lord." Yi Mo had chose Huang Yinian after careful thoughts. First, he was experienced in all sorts of battles, especially naval. Luo Yu was surrounded by sea. Second, Huang Yinian was old and reliable. Luo Yu needed development now, not war. Third, he knew Luo Yu deeply and loved Luo Yu. Yes, I accept this. Huang Yinian wanted to do things for Luo Yu. He felt that some of what Su Yuehua had done before wasn't right, but he had just been a naval commander. It hadn't been appropriate for him to say a lot of things. Yi Mo then looked at Su Ping. "Second brother don't need to be the military commander anymore. Prepare to establish Luo Yu City's Martial Academy. Only those at black level or above can join. They will be responsible for Luo Yu's high-level safety. Second brother can be the director, and Sister Yuehua is the vice director." After what happened before, Yi Mo felt like he needed to be responsible for the safety of Luo Yu's management level. Otherwise, if another master came, Luo Yu City would still be in danger. Even China had the Heaven Squad. Half-great heaven masters were extremely rare in the outside world. Yet Dongfang Wang had found two immediately. Yi Mo felt like he needed to investigate Dongfang Wang to know how he could have gotten his masters to work for him. Yi Mo looked at Guiqi and said, "Guiqi will take over second brother's position as the head of military in Luo Yu. Li Sandow will be the ground forces commander. The naval commander will be appointed by City Lord Huang. Air Force commander remains the same. Zhang Jiayan will be first vice city lord, and Yi Ling the second vice city lord. Yu Miaodan will be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Fong Wei will continue to be the head of police, and Shi Xiu can be Sister Yu's assistant. Shen Qianqian and Lu Lin will stay in their positions. After all this, Yi Mo said again, Luo Yu's martial academy will be the best ancient martial arts cultivation place. If anyone's interested, you may all go there to learn. But there's one requirement. You must not teach anyone what you learn there. And Zifeng, you must go to study there for some time too before coming back to do things. Everyone left after the meeting. Although Yi Mo had said that the future positions would be decided by vote, for now he would assign everyone. Yi Mo left Zhang Jiayan, Su Ping, Su Yuehua, Yi Ling, and Yi Zifeng in the room, and asked Yuero to come. After they all gathered, Yi Mo took out 3 great essence-increasing pills and gave them to Zhang Jiayan, Su Ping, and Su Yuehua. After you eat this pill, you will reach great heaven. Luo, you needs masters because I can't always be here. Ha! Su Yuehua and the others stood up in shock. There were such pills that could make one reach great heaven. If news spread out, the entire hidden sects would rush to Luo Yu fearlessly. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.